1,000 chairs apiece?
Yeah. I'll have 11,000.
Okay, so we're talking, if you buy 10,000 chairs, we're talking $220,000.
That's right.
So shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, no.
Sweet. All right, got that done.
Well, thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
No, all right, then. I guess that concludes the call. This is a stock tip bulletin board.
Yep. Taser is trading at $27.87 a share, not $22.
Jeez, it's already up $5 just since the phone call.
We left that money on the table.
Wow. Market's not even open yet, is it?
Guys, please tell Paul when he's on the bridge to St. Charles to jerk the wheel to the right quickly and make sure he falls into the Missouri River.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Probably a rival broker.
That's Dave with the cauliflower ear. A lot of brokers have cauliflower ears, so that probably is correct.
I don't think it's brokers, it's wrestlers who have the cauliflower ears.
You don't know that?
Have you ever gone to the NCAA wrestling tournament when it's Scott Trade? It's not just the wrestlers, but half the people in the crowd have the cauliflower ear.
They're former wrestlers.
Yeah. I guess they wear that with pride.
Or maybe...
Like, look at me ear.
What if they're the wives or the girlfriends of the wrestlers? Can you get cauliflower ear?
It's not contagious, no.
From making out with a guy with cauliflower ear?
What about a mild case of herpes, bro?
That you could get, sure.
Guys, it'll be a nice situation when this guy hangs up. That's from the 314. Great stock tip, Paul. If you make money, you can retire. That's from Recap.
He was just trying to help us with our portfolio.
Like to tase Paul. Thanks. That's from Brother Aber. He's the vice president of marketing for We Are Live.
Everybody's a hater.
Doug, at your age, though, don't you want to get into some more conservative
you're looking more blue chip
type portfolio just to make sure, you don't have that much time left?
It can't be. No, I don't. My time is short.
Don't want to get risky.
I can't, Just give me a CD. I'll take 0.5% interest. That's maybe checking account.
Just what about a nice savings bond?
Doug Mario in Chicago is back. He's having a monster 7 o'clock hour. And he says, number one, St. Charles isn't in West County or wealthy. And number two, I work in finance for a large asset manager, and I am going to short Taser.
There's parts of St. Charles that is wealthy, is indeed wealthy.
Well, sounds like you're sideways with Mario in Chicago.
A little bit. Parts of St. Charles are very nice.
Hey, Paul, I hope you make it to Hot Shots tonight. I'd like to buy you a shot of Clorox. Thanks. That's from Barnhart Brawler.
Here's a guy who's trying to help all of us make a little extra money. We asked him. He didn't come out with it. We asked him. He supplied a stock, made all the sense in the world that this is a stock might go up. And yet the haters come out by the dozens.
Haters going to hate.
That's what's wrong with this program.
But that's it. Otherwise, the show is tight.
Mm-hmm.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
And it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. I've been the title sponsor of the Morning After for over a decade. And in these 10 years, I've learned a lot about shrubs and Dotem, and of course, our fearless leader, Tim. I honestly can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. Huge shout out and thank you to all the listeners. It's because of you that this is possible. Thank you for supporting the sponsors. If you ever need a home loan, I'm your guy. It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
I'm as moist as a freshly baked Betty Crocker cake.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
There's no shame in being single. It just means that 7.5 billion people don't want to be with you.
The tenant next door to it is a Kokomo Joe's.
Well, this guy's huge. And he did anal.
If you don't have a truck, a tat, and a kid by 20, you ain't nothing.
You know who doesn't kill spiders? Learn.
We're not talking about you right this second.
Doug's had enough.
I've got hair that people would die to have.
Martha White makes very good muffin mix.
Exploding colons.
I believe the fingering is the same.
When he says, I'm diddling myself.
He's got a big blowhole.
But he's trying to pound Jackson.
The guy who actually took the first poop, how, he reacted. And did he squat?
You spend 15 minutes of it talking about Merkins. It's like one of your favorite topics for some reason. And every time you bring it up, like once a week on the show, you start talking about Spartacus. It's like the same conversation that you have with yourself. No one even listens.
There's really nothing to talk about.
I got to tell you, pretty much viewing-wise, I'm now just down to Girl.
Well, we all like Brian.
She washed my balls, things like that.
And when I had my pants off, that's when Plowsy walked in.
What?
I think me and Iggy brought up a great topic of how weird it is for someone to get to like page 12 or 13 on Pornhub. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I've gone to page 24 before trying to find something I haven't seen before.
oh, okay.
Patrick Green's a scrub.
And right in front of it is a Red Lobster.
It's some hideous article that Jackson found and he sent just to upset us.
Oh, here comes Ezekiel.
Now, if somebody would call in and say, Iggy, you're nothing without Tim, I'd have to agree. I wouldn't go on a tirade. I'd say, you're right.
2 days ago I did. I felt a little prick.
This wife is dripping for Tim.
It was on TV of some kind.
Vince Vaughn entrails?
Boy, I'd really love to go hoe chasing tonight.
He's already given up on missionary.
Oh, and doggy. You would have 2 hands and a mouth available.
That's ass to mouth, right?
Iggy, can we find somebody to talk pap smear today?
I certainly wouldn't be known as a flute leaker.
Do you know I kept score for Elvin Metzger's final 300?
Boy, that'd be a killer threesome in the middle of the lineup.
I was cucked in the moment.
I got a podcast that's in the top 50 in every country on the planet.
I'm a hag. You just go into that big hole. We just talked about taking a dump.
Okay.
May I swallow?
Well, every time I tee it up, I got a chance.
You know.
I gave Pepper and Jeannie a chance last week. 22 and a half minutes of pube talk.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. We're in the Michelob Ultra Studios. Doug, they're all new Michelob Ultra Studios.
These are
too.
new studios, yes. And the audio's sounding better, I guess. It sounds good now. Boy, it sounds great to me.
Plowhawk, what are you hearing?
Tim was a little low recording on Friday.
Was
Again,
that right?
It's trial and error. It just a touch. So I ranked you up just a touch and kind of see.
My dad has
Jackson.
my voice is way higher than everybody else's. He's been setting that up for years.
Yeah, he'll fix it.
I would imagine he'll be
get
on
it fixed.
He'll be on it. It's the Munganess St. Louis
Let me
Acura
check.
Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Hello, friends, and welcome in to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Get involved in the show, as many of you have already chosen to do. Doug, they try to frame the show with the first text, 314-881-TMA5. Engineer Design Facilities, now known as the EDF Group, the sponsor of our text inbox. Call in 636-9004-TMA, and of course, email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. Jackson, I don't know if you were seeing it yesterday. I think the whole show was getting these emails, but Mr. Licks was sending emails left and right throughout the course of
About what?
Sunday after. He said he was pissed at Jackson and he was going to be waiting on hold at 7:07.
Oh.
Did you see those, Jackson?
I got no emails from Licks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got the notifications.
Yeah, that's
it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Easter, spending time with the family, finding some Easter eggs, and he's blasting off emails.
I didn't see that, nor is he on hold. So
he is not delivering on that promise. I got to tell you, Doug, I got to call attention to a gentleman of honor.
Oh,
man of honor. I bet a guy. I make these asinine bets that I wind up losing and then paying off. Plowhawk, I bet 10-1 that the Cardinals would make a big move offensively after, I don't know, take your pick of the last 4 years. I think this was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I gave you 10-1. And I was going to give you 10-1 up to $100 bet on your part, so I could have lost $1,000. You only chose $10, thankfully, so you won $100. And I bet a guy 10-1 after Preed won the Masters in 2018 that P. Reed wouldn't win any of the next 5 years majors. And I'd forgotten the guy's name, and he just Venmo'd me his bet. I tipped my cap, $645. I mean, he could have totally forgotten about it. I forgot about it. So, you know what? Man of honor.
Really?
Aaron Kleekamp. Doug, is it Aaron?
Clamp?
Clamp?
I don't know who the hell it is.
Aaron Clean Clamp?
Clean.
Is
We
it
can't
Clee
say his
Clamp?
name.
Clamp. It sounds familiar to me.
You know?
I don't know if I know him. I'm going to bring up his name and see if he sent me any DMs.
Brentwood High, fellow.
I know him from some. The name.
Oh, he's married to Gail Volva.
No, that's Gary Burke. Well, he's not married to
Gary
either.
Burke.
I'll bring up his name, see if I see anything.
Okay. This is our investigative portion of the
All
program.
right, we'll just take a moment
This
here.
is Herb Humphrey's night side.
Got
there.
it.
What do we already have?
Aaron Cleeclamp. Let's see.
So
if
he did go to Brentwood.
No. We got one guy that's assistant manager at Hy-Vee. And another guy lives in Charleston, South Carolina.
That could be Aaron. I mean, this show at this point is national.
And I'll see if I got any messages from him.
Okay, we'll wait. Let's play the elevator music, Plowsy.
I got no.
There can't be anything more important than figuring out where Aaron Cleeclamp lives.
No messages from Aaron Cleeclamp, so I don't know. Don't know him then. He's probably on the fan page, I would think.
I don't know. All I know is he Venmoed me $100, and he's a man of honor. And I said, I want to give an Aaron Cleeclamp award.
Okay.
And congratulations to him and Gail. Tim, I don't think Gabby Carter's areolas might be the lead today. Jesus, Mary
Dude,
Joseph.
have you seen it? I saw it.
That's not real.
They're flapjacks.
That's
And
not
those are
real.
literal.
What the hell? This I just opened up the text inbox. Oh, my God.
What happened?
That's not real.
Is she pregnant?
I don't know. Yeah, she is pregnant, actually.
Well,
but why is this?
That wouldn't happen if you're
But
pregnant.
Well,
the
they do
tweet
get-
is she tweeted them out.
They do get big.
Huge thank you to the real Dr. Miami. This is like the Biondo thing for helping me get larger areolas.
Oh.
Can't wait to size up again. Is this real?
No, it can't,
can't
be. It can't be.
I mean,
Looked
to
like
get
she
to
put
get bigger
self-tanner on
to
them.
get bigger areolas, you need bigger breasts.
Can we get back to Aaron Cleeclamp, please?
It looks like
Where's he
pancakes.
from?
I think
Who is
that's
this
real.
guy?
What's that, Jackson?
I-
You
that's
talking about
the-
Gabby Carter's nipples or areolas or Aaron Cleeclamp?
I'm unfamiliar with Cleecamp and his whole situation, but I am looking at the Gabby Carter official Twitter account, and that photo isn't edited.
Yes, it is.
Well,
She did tweet that out?
Yeah, is her handle is I'm awful 69.
It's a joke.
Underscore.
Wish we could have grabbed that for balloon party.
Pay for those?
I don't know. Oh wow.
I would pay to get them taken off. Not put
So
on.
she had. I didn't know you could make your areolas bigger. Who can we ask about that?
Yeah, what are they made?
Cleeclamp, yeah.
What are they made out of?
Doug?
I don't know.
Some sort of
Silicone.
epoxy?
Yeah, that's not real. Don't be fooled by this stuff.
It looks,
Marshy.
it looks like pancakes, but it was made with like wheat. Like a darker dough.
What kind of pancakes are those?
Hey, we got a Beer Cats text. And Doug, anytime, if you're a Milagro Tequila listener of the month, your texts automatically get read. That's
Well, they
one of
should,
One of
yeah.
the bylaws. He won in January. Natty Nate won in February. And Brian Henshin in March. Who will win in April? Sign up.
Somebody from out of town, I'm sure.
Most likely. Tim, for the love of God, can we ask Hubbard about the Sinbad all-day skeleton? I'll stop blaming Plowsy for being wildly lazy regardless if that'd the truth. I don't know what that means.
That's
Playing random Swopes picks would be 100 times better than listening to replays of the previous week's shows on a loop. Please save us. That's from Beer Cats Milagro Tequila, listener of the month, January 2023.
That
Plowhawk-
part is out of my hands.
It's out of your
That
hands.
would
The
be-
skeleton.
Correct. That would be something you talk to the great Marty Link, Tommy, management. That's just how it's been set up. Jackson can attest for the last, give or take, 16 months that we've been here. That's kind of how it works, and that part is out of my control. I just do as the skeleton says, Doug.
oh.
Do as the skeleton.
And so is the Sinbad interview playing anymore or not?
No. Well, it is, but it's not playing on a loop like it was in previous
Darn good
weeks.
interview.
But yes, Saturday, I think it starts at 9 a.m.
The skeleton.
Yeah, so we'll do best ofs from 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturday, Sunday. But starting at 9 a.m., playing the Monday show, first, second, third segment. Tuesday show, first, second, third segment. Wednesday, so on and so forth until, from 9 p.m. to midnight, it's the Friday show, first, second, third segment. That's how the skeleton is played. So the first 9 hours, 8 hours, is best ofs. and then the last portion of that for Saturday, Sunday is the replays.
So that is the skeleton.
Okay.
On the weekdays, you get the replays from the previous show or that day's show twice. So it's not as peppered in there as the weekend.
I'm going to ask this, and I mean this seriously.
Oh, no.
I'm ready for it.
Is this
No,
about Volvo?
No,
Fleet
because
Clamp,
because I
Gabby Carter,
appreciate
Zarellas?
our listeners that want to listen to the show 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
But what did you do before we came over here?
Suffered.
You heard us once, and if you wanted to listen again, you go to the podcast and go back and find archives. But I've never heard so much complaining about. I heard that segment last week. I heard that segment 2 weeks ago. We heard this segment 3 times this month. I just want to know what you did before we came over here, and you only heard it once.
They suffered.
And I'm going to pat myself on the back. I don't get to do that. I have grinded. I have loaded 38 the last 2 weeks.
Is that right?
54 in the last
What segment
month.
stands out to you, boy?
Oh, man. Again, this is one of the first ones I've edited a couple months ago, but the Pocket Aces when Jay Jr. was in the next day after that story, so we relived the Pocket Aces story.
Yeah.
So there are
And
two
Iggy
of them
folded
there.
with Pocket Aces?
Yeah, there's one segment where Iggy originally brings up the story, and then there's another segment where Jay reacts to it the next day.
I just
think
heard
that
as we were
combo.
getting ready to do this program, Jennings calling Preed a scrub.
Yeah.
And I thought that was wonderful timing. And I thought to myself, look at the way that the Plowhawk has set up today's skeleton.
Yeah, I knew the drops of the week was around. I forgot what tournament it was. I think it was right after Preed maybe cheated. I don't know what tournament that was, but Jay was never a fan. So when he was brought up, he expressed his feelings.
What happens to the skeleton when the wind exceeds 15 miles an hour? I heard anything over 15 miles an hour causes Sinbad and Alien Hour to be played on a loop. That's Nathan from the east side of Alton.
They act like a nice little summer breeze is what I brought up. I mean, we're talking the week, when I brought it up, it was like 75 mile an hour, like level 4 threat storm.
Gale force.
Let's not act like we're on the golf course and just a big breeze happened to come by and there goes the skeleton.
The Sinbad interview was only 10 or 15 minutes, right? So it must get awfully repetitive.
The thing,
just keep hearing it
I bet it
over
was close to a
and
half hour.
The thing, yeah, Iggy's right. The thing with the Sinbad interview, it times out perfectly for the amount that I need.
That's why he's used so often.
It's like 24
That's why I
minutes.
fit Kevin Na into so many rosters.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
Sometimes you need 62 minutes of content, sometimes 25. He's at like 24.
So keep
it's-
using it. Yeah.
It was too perfect.
I got some old Kegler's Corners I can edit up
Yeah,
for
I
you.
can fit those in. I cannot believe you morons think that Gabby Carter tweet is real. Actually, I can. That's from Hyman the Roth. Jackson, aren't you looking at the tweet?
I mean, unless like it's some sort of joke, which it very well could be, or
course
some
it
sort
is.
of makeup. I don't know. It's not. If it's
I thought you looked at the tweet and said her Twitter handle's I'm awful 69.
that. Yes, it's. I mean, that tweet is from her. I just don't know if she's like.
Well, is it on the Twitter tweets?
It is. Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know why she would joke about.
Do
such
some
a thing.
research. See if there's a person called Dr. Miami.
That's
Why
that's
should
a
I
very real
research
person.
that?
I've heard that name.
Is that real? Because she wouldn't put a real person in there if she's making up a picture.
Unless she's friends with them. Yeah, the real Dr. Miami has 187,000 Twitter
Oh, okay.
followers.
Then I would think
It's
it's
one of
real.
those like trendy plastic surgeons.
And Hyman the Roth is back. I second what Beercat said. TMA all day weekends is unlistenable. Doug. Hyman the Roth says it's unlistenable.
Well, the thing is,
On a
like,
record.
the show that you're listening to, like, that's the show. Like, I don't
This
do
is
any.
unlistenable, too,
Like,
what
what
we're
we
doing
do on
now.
Mondays when I play them over the weekend, I don't splice anything else.
you
If you
don't.
enjoyed that program on Monday, then why is it any different on a Saturday?
Yeah, why?
And if it's horrible, then it could be horrible.
It's always lousy.
Iggy, this is your whole problem. Just because something's okay doesn't mean you shouldn't work to make it better. That's why you live your life in a hovel. I agree. As a loser who listens way too much, I would love for a random non-evergreen segment to appear. It doesn't have to be anything special, just something different. Doug, that's from the Slippery Turtle.
Well, there's got to be something different. You're not hearing the same thing day after day after day. Plowsy just said he's put like 100
How many segments
segments
are
in
there?
there.
Stuff? Got to be over 300, right?
Oh, there's over 5, Jackson?
Really?
We're in the
Yeah, I think we're in
550
the
We're in
fives.
the 5 or 6 range for sure. Yeah.
The only thing you're hearing the same is the show that we did that day. Maybe it plays over the weekend. But Plowsy just said that's in the skeleton. He has no control over that.
Yeah, let me go rogue, lose my job, so these listeners can get what they want.
Maybe we should
That'll
just
pay off.
start going to some of these people's houses after 10 o'clock when our live show is done. We just go to their houses and we sit around and chit-chat for a little while.
That would be funny.
That'd be a
sit
real
around
moneymaker.
Just
they
sit
want
around
pay.
their
Premium
kitchen table
package.
and chit-chat. They can bring us some snacks, and we'll just talk.
$500 an hour, would you do it?
Sure.
It's $100 an hour per person.
Scott Sprinkle Ballsack says, those areolas are so damn confusing. I'm not judging, but it made me do a double take when scrolling Twitter tweets on Easter morning. That's from Scott Sprinkle Ballsack, not his wife. What a treat on Easter morning to see those areolas.
Now, look, I love a big areola.
Clip that off.
But not that. That's I don't know what that is.
That's a Photoshop.
Or something, I don't know. And why would you, I don't know why you'd want those. I mean, they're going to get bigger anyway once you get pregnant. You're already pregnant. Unless it's some kind of takeoff on her being pregnant and she's just having fun with it.
Well, they've gotten like 5 shades darker. I think that's what I was concerned with. Like, that's why I thought she accidentally put this, like, the self-tanner on there.
That's what Hyman the Roth, I think, is insinuating.
I mean, they look a lot different. I don't think they're bigger. It didn't look like they were any bigger than what they were. She's always
They're the
been.
biggest in modern history.
Well, they're the biggest in porn right now, I'm sure.
Do we know who the father is?
Doug?
How would I know who the father of her child is?
I don't know. You've been in Miami.
Yeah, that on page 6.
Because I was in Miami for a while, I now know who fathers every child.
That's correct. That's the way that it works. You're welcome to text in. 314-881-TMA5. Engineer Design Facilities is the sponsor of our text inbox, heretofore known as the EDF Group. They are expanding, and we are thrilled to have them expanding with us here on TMA, Engineer Design Facilities, the EDF Group. Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facility service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at the edfgroup.com. That's Engineer Design Facilities, edfgroup.com. Munganess is the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. I can't wait to hear the results from the Masties. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota work with the great Peter Munganess, who we saw on Thursday night at the Blues game. Clayton Patterson, and of course, Jamie Burkhardt. Go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com, and you can just text them or call them at 314-252-0029. That phone number is a secret number, and Doug, it takes you to what, like the Muckaties? The Muckaties.
That's exactly right.
Muckety Mucks.
Yeah, it's a line straight to the Muckety Mucks.
It's,
the movers and shakers.
Yeah, that's right.
The decision makers.
That's who you need to talk to. You can text it, you can call it, and people rave about how quickly they get back to you if you text them. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Support the sponsors, especially the official automotive provider of TMA. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. There's a lot of Munganess out there. We're specific here, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, because not all of them are sponsoring the show, okay? So you're like, oh, I'm doing business with Munganess. Well, if you're not doing business with St. Louis Acura or Alton Toyota, you're not doing anything with sponsor. Jackson, let's go over the rosters from the Munganess Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Maybe just by hearing the rosters, we'll know who won.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, Doug lost.
Oh, well, I had to pick them blindly.
Is Jackson available?
I can give you the rosters.
Hold
I'm
on.
looking at them
Sorry.
right here.
I was on the phone. Sorry.
Oh, who are you talking to?
Tucker's on hold.
Tucker?
Oh,
Tucker? Wow. That's huge.
Carlson?
No.
Where are you looking that up?
Huge.
I almost went and saw Jamie Friday. I was out in Alton. I went by to see Learn, and I couldn't get in. So I said, I'm all the way out here now. I might as well do something. I was going to go by to see
stalked her
Jamie.
all the way to
722.
No, she had her farewell broadcast.
Yeah, I did see the picture of the line.
Yeah, I couldn't get in.
Oh, wow.
Well, I could have if I would have realized that line was not to get in. That line was for the merch tent. But I've only been to Fast Eddie's like once.
It's a great place.
And there was no place to park. So I was on the street with the line. I said, is this the line to get into Fast Eddie's? Some dude said, yep. I said, oh, I'm not getting in here. Then I found out that was a line to the merch tent, not to get in. I could have gotten in.
What merch tent?
I think they were selling a limited edition Keishi flag that Learn was going to sign for everybody. I mean, this line in the merch tent, it was around the building.
No fooling.
So I said, I'm out in Alton. What can I do? Maybe go play Spencer T?
Oh, did you?
No, I was going to go see Jamie. I said, let's go home.
All right, I got the rosters.
Nice.
I think that was an anecdote.
I got the rosters.
You drove all the way out there, saw that the line was a little longer than you wanted, and drove all the way back home.
Yeah. Nothing I could do.
Okay, an hour and a half or so of driving.
Probably 30 minutes to get there, 30 minutes to
least.
get back. So an hour driving, yeah.
Okay.
Wasted a lot of gas.
All right.
Jackson, you have the rosters for
I
the
do.
Mogadis.
I do. Doug had Rory, Bryson, DeChambeau, and Alex Noren.
Those are all going to be problems.
Those are going to be problems. He also had Adam Scott, who, of course, made the cut, but had a nice little 7-over weekend.
Yeah, didn't have a great weekend.
But also had Matthew Fitzpatrick, who was T10, and Hideki Matsuyama with a disappointing Sunday from the former champ.
Yeah, missed some short putts, including on 18, his 72nd hole.
So Doug finishes with 253.5 points.
Oh, that's not many.
Collective plus 17 for his 6 golfers.
Oh, well, I wish I could have seen who I picked.
Iggy.
You know, it's a blind draw.
No doubt.
I think we're going to be handing Iggy the green jacket here.
Yeah.
Iggy had Corey Connors, who, of course, in his second round shot a 79.
Could have played Brooks Koepka instead of him. They were the same price.
Well, no fooling.
They were the same price.
If you should have.
But also Iggy had, Jay Day and Tommy Fleet weren't great for him.
And Jay Day had a great Sunday. I think he shot 80.
He did. He shot 80 on Sunday.
Did he really?
Yeah. Sanjay M., who was tied for 16th.
He had a good Sunday.
Tony Finau, tied for 26th, and then Xander Schauffele, with T10. Iggy finishes with 332.5 points and gets the green jacket.
Huh.
Wow, Doug, it was there for the taking.
But I feel bad that he could research this and didn't make any money for the children.
No, not a nickel. Neither
Well,
of
I
you did.
beat you, though.
Yeah, but I don't get to look at see who I
It's
picked.
too bad for you.
It's too bad for the kids. Is who it's too bad for. I don't know how you look any children in the eye anymore.
Yeah, I bet Greg Norm was happy yesterday. You had a second, a fourth.
3 of the top 5.
Yeah.
Plowhawk, I mean, you're the live guy, you and Mr. Licks.
Regardless of what you could say, I mean, without those live players, that would have been a really boring Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. Just because, I mean, people were climbing a little bit. You had Cantlay, you had Spieth coming in there at the end. But for the most part, the Koepka, Rahm, watching that kind of final group, because if Rahm was, 5-6 shots up with nobody really chasing him, it would have been kind of boring to watch. So
It got interesting for a little while, too.
it was, I loved watching it.
But then, you still needed Rahm to have a bad hole.
I think that John Rahm winning was something that was quite predictable, and that's what I love about the Masters. Rarely, and I mean rarely, do you have a real big surprise win that golf tournament, which speaks to the caliber of the course and the event because you have to manage your nerves. And Brooks Koepka has had some problems in final rounds. He had a problem closing out Beth Page in 2019, and he had a problem at Harding Park when he was in the mix in 20, the one that Morikawa won. And I don't know what was going on yesterday, but he only hit 7 of 18 greens in regulation in his third round, which was closed out yesterday morning. And then indications of problems for Koepka on the first tee of the fourth round when he hit a 3-wood, a double cross, just dead left, and continued to have some real issues with ball striking, whereas he had 15 of 18 greens in regulation to open up on Thursday. So something was off there, and he just played poorly and was never really in it. Gave a little bit of a sweat at the end, but it required Rahm to fall off. Rahm, you knew was going to win at some point. He got it. He has been playing incredibly well off the tee. His accuracy has been a little rough over the last month. His strokes gained around the green has improved from last year, and his strokes gained putting from last year is improved. He's the best player in the world right there with Scottie Scheffler. To me, the two biggest stories of the weekend are whatever happened to Rory McIlroy, who is the face of the PGA Tour, and what Phil Mickelson did, who is the face of LIV Golf, at least from a playing perspective, if you wouldn't include Greg Norman since he's not playing. I could have never, and I did build 100 rosters, 96 rosters. I didn't give Mickelson a sliver of consideration, and that's building rosters for the Millionaire Maker where you intentionally pick random crap because it's the thing that you got to do. Wouldn't have given it a sliver. So what a credit to Mickelson for doing what he did yesterday. He shot a 65, and he posted 8 under. He, if Rahm wasn't in control as he was and playing as smartly as he was and just running a playbook, he was just executing to take trouble out of play, laying up on 15. It was effortless. If he was dealing with a more wobbly leader like a Koepka, like a Victor Hovland who has a track record of blowing up when he's in the mix on Sundays, if you follow that, he was in the last group with McIlroy last year at the Open. I'm sure most people forget it because he posted a big number. Who knows? Mickelson could have gotten in there, but Rahm is just so hardcore that he's not going to, he's not going to be flappable. But Phil Mickelson doing what he did and Rory McIlroy doing what he did, to me, my biggest takeaway from the 2023 Masters are those two stories.
Yeah, nobody would have predicted that. I mean, I don't think Mickelson.
Either one of them. I don't know which one's more surprising. I think Mickelson's more surprising.
Yeah, because I don't think he's had a top 20.
He looked despondent when he was addressing the media on Monday and Tuesday. Didn't talk at the Champions Dinner.
No, and Rory, I know that I watched a lot of live from the Masters on the golf channel, and I love how McGinley kept giving it to what's his name?
Doug Cleeclamp?
Who's he do the show with?
Brandel Chambly.
Brandel Chambly.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, Brandel Chambly, who he would say things like, and I'll say right now, I mean, McIlroy, this course is not built for McIlroy. I mean,
he did say that.
And then he said, but I think he'll win at some point.
He picked Justin Thomas.
Yeah, but then McGinley said, well, why do you keep saying that he has no, this isn't his course, but you still think he'll win?
Right.
But there's got to be something to it because he's had a second.
But to shoot 5 over and miss the cut, that's 3 over. I mean, that is something else. I mean, again, McIlroy 5 over, Mickelson -8.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And McIlroy came into this saying, I've never been so relaxed. I'm just going to go play this week. My game is in perfect shape.
I thought the fact that he had Bob Rotella meeting with him would be a red flag. And he's a sports psychologist. Not to say that it's a bad thing to be meeting with a sports psychologist, but that he was flying in. That was something from that press conference that I took. But again, Phil Mickelson doing what he did, and it's a shame he had such a bad, I think it was 3rd round, because, I mean, you could have had Phil Mickelson win that thing, which is amazing. Now, I'm sure Rahm would have handled the golf tournament on Sunday's final round differently had he been getting a push from somebody. He just had to run the 4 corners offense, essentially, because he had such a comfortable lead and didn't have to be aggressive. But, I mean, for Phil Mickelson to be that guy, that's absolutely incredible. And for Victor Hovland and Brooks Koepka and Jason Day had been playing super well. He wasn't necessarily in the mix going into the final round, but for him to shoot an 80, holy crap. Those, to me, those are the biggest stories that you take away from. For me, that's what I take. Because Rahm winning a green jacket is not surprising. John Rahm winning, Scotty Scheffler winning the year before. That Hideki Matsuyama, I know he's not as big of a name, but I mean he's a great player globally. That's what that course does. It brings out the best, and the best usually win. There are handfuls of exceptions.
Yeah, you're not going to have Danny Willits winning in every year. I mean,
and that had to be handed to him for that to happen. So, but McIlroy doing what he did, that you go, wow, man, from the mental side, what in the world? And Mickelson doing what he did, I don't even know how to explain it outside of just balls, I mean, balls to the wall.
And
did you watch it, Doug?
Yeah, I watched quite a bit of it, not all of it. I was fascinated by the weather. I was glad to see that the weather cleared up and they could have a good final day. But because I felt so bad. I know some people that have spent so much money to go down there, plan a trip around it, and then you go and you sit in the rain and the cold and you got trees falling down around you. I feel bad for the people that put that course together and make it look so perfect, and then the weather is so bad. So I was just happy that they got it on.
Yeah, if you had a Saturday badge, you got a rough one.
Yeah, and there's people who've planned their whole vacations around that and spend a fortune to go down there, and then that happens. That's what I was feeling bad about.
Yeah,
and you feel bad for Tiger. I mean, I even tweeted out Saturday. I said nobody would fault Tiger if he just withdrew right now. Walking in this, it's freezing. He's limping like I've never seen him limp before since his accident. He's back on the course, but that's not Tiger. Tiger's going to play, and then he gets up Sunday, he tries to go through his routine and just can't. So he withdraws, but that's because of Saturday. I mean, he was going to have to play, 27 holes? And there's no way he's going to walk 27 holes.
There's no point. Also, he was DFL. There very rarely in gambling do you get a bet where you go, oh, my God, it's almost like And in between the second round and the third round, where he surprisingly made the cut because Justin Thomas ran into those conditions and ejected, and didn't make the cut, which moved the cut from 2 over to 3 over, which allowed Tiger to get in. And then I'm sure Tiger was probably like, I'm sure he's happy that he made the cut, but he's like, oh, my God, I got to go back out there and that stuff with that leg in those cold conditions. And the sports book I use, Taylor Moore, who's, not necessarily a household name, was -120 in his matchup with Tiger Woods. All you got to do is shoot the better score. And I was texting with the Wizard, the guy who's become a millionaire playing daily fantasy sports and knows more data than I could ever possibly. And I said, I really am thinking about, going into a dangerous area with this bet and taking Taylor Moore. The variable being Taylor Moore, because what is he going to do? But Tiger Woods has no chance in his third round. No chance. He cannot play. It's nothing against Tiger Woods. He can't walk and play in those conditions. And all Taylor Moore has to do is theoretically shoot, in my mind, a 76, because Tiger Woods isn't going to shoot a 75. And I put a little bet on it, but then when Tiger withdrew, the bet was negated. You have to complete 18 holes. Point being, there was a rare moment. The bet started at minus 120 for Moore, and by the time they went off, it was minus 155. Koepka was a great play, both from a daily fantasy standpoint and also from a gambling standpoint, of a friend of mine who put a good amount of money on him at plus 4,000 to win. And that's a guy who has the ability to actually do it. Very rarely does a plus 4,000 have a chance to win at Augusta. Brooks Koepka does, and if you've been following him, he has been healthy this year. He won the past week on the Live Tour. But Jon Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, you expect those guys to be there. If McIlroy's off a little bit like Scheffler was with his putting, that's one thing. But to shoot 5 over, that to me indicates some kind of mental block at that golf course. Sure, the course might not set up for him with the lies that are never flat unless you're on the tee box, but to shoot 5 over, holy crap, that is stunning. In the conditions he played in. He didn't play in the crap that like Justin Thomas and Tiger were playing in. So that's what stands out to me. Also something that stood out to me yesterday, if that thing would have gone to a playoff, they don't get it in.
No, they only had like 35 minutes of light left.
And they weren't talking about it on the broadcast because I don't think they necessarily wanted to call a whole lot of attention to it. But Bennett, the amateur, and Patrick Cantlay, holy crap. You would have been firing wedges into him. Brooks Koepka was asked about the pace of play yesterday, which he was delighted by. Take a listen.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
Brooks, you're a pretty fast player, as we know. Just curious your thoughts on the pace of play this afternoon.
Yeah, that group in front of us was brutally slow. John went to the bathroom like 7 times during the round, and we were still waiting. So.
Was that a shot at his prostate?
I don't know if he was talking about his prostate. Did you take that as a shot at his prostate?
No, I took that as a shot at the guys in front of him.
Yeah, well, I saw one. They were back on the fairway just waiting, and Cantlay just marked his ball and then walked all the way around the green, checked it. It was like a 3-foot putt.
There was one where Hovland, I think it was 13, where Cantlay had laid up, and Hovland was on the green, or had a chip, I think, actually, because he missed the green. And he just chipped it and didn't even wait for him to come over to the green. I mean, he just had enough. And also, it's Sam Bennett. It's incredible what he did as an amateur. I mean, that's absurd. And he's got like the Aggie Invitational this morning, and he's going to be walking and carrying his bag for 36 holes, and yet he's out there playing with Jon Rahm and Brooks Koepka yesterday morning to close out the third round. But he also is a very slow player. Holy crap. And
penalize him.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, do you do that to these guys?
Sure.
There is a rule about it, but that was something else. And I'm watching the pace of play, and I think they made the turn at 5 Eastern, approximately. And I was looking at the sunset in Augusta, and it was about 7:45. And I'm thinking, if they keep on this pace of play, they really might not get it in. And if it does go to a playoff, they got no chance of getting it in. And what would have happened then? Because you teed off at 2:30 Eastern time, and you weren't able to get it in 5 hours and 15 minutes.
Penalize him
with twosomes.
Yeah, and playing split tees.
And playing split tees, yes.
Yeah, it was. I was at my niece's house and we were watching. I looked at the clock. I said, they only got like 35 minutes of light left. I said, I know they're on the 18th hole. They'll get it in, but my God, they kind of cut it close.
There was one time where Hovland was waiting for Cantlay to hit his shot, and he was just after like the 8th waggle, Hovland just tells this guy, he's like, let's go. And they just start walking as Cantlay starts his backswing. They're like, I can't do this anymore.
At some point, you can't let 1 or 2 players disrupt the whole tournament like that.
No, they don't. They put them on the clock, but they're kind of lax with that even.
So penalize them.
Cantlay in that sweater and his Goldman Sachs hat. It's like all I saw the entire broadcast. And Brooks and John waiting for him.
Is that showing off to wear Goldman Sachs on your hat?
Well, it's a sponsor.
They pay for it.
I know, but it's kind of an awfully ritzy, elitist type of thing, isn't it?
Why? You got that much money. You got to find somebody to take care of it for you.
I know.
Let's see. Mr. Licks is not happy. Brandel Chambly looked like a Vianney kid at prom in that Hoosier-looking coat and shirt combo. He is the absolute worst. That's from Mr. Licks.
None of those guys can dress.
Not like you.
I didn't see one of those guys have a matching tie that matched their pants or their shirt or their jacket. I mean, they were
I haven't noticed
checks
a
with stripes.
gentleman's shirt and tie combination in a very long time, if ever, perhaps.
Prod Joe, Taylor Twellman.
Prod Joe noticed it, and he went after Taylor
Yeah, the
Twellman.
shoe, I think
Who's going to be a
brown-
regular on Balloon Party now, by the way.
brown
Not Prod
shoes.
Joe, but Taylor Twellman. And I actually did notice Brandel Chambly's shirt and tie combo. The chances of Mr. Lick citing that and me actually knowing what he's talking about, I thought, I don't know what he's doing.
And I guess the
there.
Golf Channel can't get a broadcast in without Mike Tirico coming. I mean, he's everywhere. Just
Who are you not happy with?
Mike Tirico.
Well, I'm not mad at Mike Tirico, but it's like, the Golf Channel does all this stuff on their own, and then here's a weekend. It's Mike Tirico. Let's show up at the Masters because I can do ESPN because I'm on NBC now, so I can go do Golf Channel stuff.
That upsets you.
Doesn't upset me. He's everywhere. He just has to show up everywhere. I mean,
Well,
do you
he's
ever
the number
see
one guy on
when CBS would have golf coverage? Did you ever see Bob Costas or somebody showing up and cutting in every 20 minutes to talk? No. I mean,
Well, he
he
showed up
does,
like
but
at
he
the
does.
Kentucky Derby.
Whenever
and places
NBC
like-
has a big event, a golf tournament, here comes Mike Tirico. All right, let's go out to hole 13. This is a putt that's going to... What are you doing play-by-play for?
Yeah,
You got
get out of
people to
there.
do that.
Oh.
But he has to get his airtime every 20 minutes. I don't get it. I like Mike Tirico. I just don't get all the airtime he has to have.
Oh, give me Mike Tirico over how much airtime Brandel Chambly had over the week. He had a rough week, man.
What was Brandel's situation outside of his shirt and tie combo that Mr. Lick said made him look like he was at Vianney's prom?
I'll tell you what, he must have got talked to on Saturday evening because Sunday he changed his tone, was talking about how great Brooks Koepka is, and Mickelson was like he was actually talking these guys up where the whole week was just absolutely trashing them. So he
Why
brought
would
some
you
takes
trash
back.
him?
He hates the live golf thing, so he always
So
got
he's-
it.
So he's trashing all players who play on Live? That's
What-
the same.
He's been sideways with Koepka before Koepka went to Live.
Yeah. And he's such a big Rory fan. You could tell, how deflated the whole booth was once he missed the cut, too. Because that is a big name not making the weekend, and he is the face of the PGA. So you could kind of tell they're like, oh, great, we have to talk about these Live guys.
Yeah. Well, Justin Thomas missing the weekend, it was a conditions-driven situation that was, God help anybody in that spot. But Rory missing it was not conditions-related, and that was really eye-opening. And Young, who's the shadowy figure in the top right corner on YouTube? I got to go to YouTube and see who's in the top right corner.
Who is that?
It's Iggy.
What's shadowy about it?
I don't know. Okay.
Doug looks like he's in the basement.
Now, Doug looks different in the top left corner. You got
Well,
a different lighting situation.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
looking...
no.
Maybe he's looking at different... That's probably what he's talking about. Doug does look kind of dark over there.
You're like Buffalo Bob's pretty.
I was too bright for a couple
You're
of
like
days.
sitting in a well.
Yeah, why don't you tuck in and
I'll
dance?
fix it.
Tuck in and dance a little bit for us.
Let's see what else Brian Henshin said. He is the March winner of the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. And Young, who's the shadowy figure in the top right corner on YouTube? And what's with the ambient wind sounds? It's almost like a career smoker is wheezing into the microphone when he's not bitching about things like Mike Tirico and merchandise tents.
I don't know.
Brian Henshin has corrected himself. Top left corner. I got nervous texting into Mr. Tim. That's from Brian Henshin.
Yeah, well, just proves your
It's
texts are
too
usually
dark
wrong.
over here.
Yeah, you can move that, Jackson.
What do you do to alter it, Jackson?
Add iris.
Add
Okay.
iris.
Give me some iris, please.
I wish we could add a kitty filter and put you as a cat. Or
Okay,
something,
that's
an
enough.
episode.
That Torino take is a real rich one, coming from a guy who has to interject himself in every conversation every 5 to 10 minutes to get his airtime. That's from the Crystal City Clay Memory. I
Well,
assume
it's-
Torino meant.
Well, it's Tirico, so why don't you learn your names?
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a
when you're
movie.
going to bash somebody, you better
Yeah,
have proper
that-
pronunciation
that was a
and
movie with-
spelling, or you're about to get dragged.
That was a movie with Clint Eastwood, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino, yeah.
Now, I will say,
Trino for short.
I will say when JT they put him on the earpiece and walking down the fairway, he didn't look too happy to be doing that. Because he actually had to end it himself. Those guys didn't know what to say. He goes, "Yeah, guys, okay, thanks for having me on. I got to go now." And he just took the thing out and threw it because they didn't know how to end it. They were asking stupid questions of him.
I always like it when they say, let's go to Dottie.
Let's go to Dottie.
I like
always
Dottie
like
Pepper. But he said, he goes, Yeah, you just got to prepare. I mean, we got a long 2 more days to go, and I think you're 1 under par. You may not make it for 2 more days the way you're playing, and sure enough, he didn't.
Check this out, Mike Tirico. You hear this ass bag this weekend? Great guy. What's the deal with him working so hard? Again, super good guy, but I've had up to here with him sharing his opinion for money. But seriously, I love him. But get a load of this piece of work just showing up everywhere, like TMA listeners and Iggy's DMs. Thanks, that comes from Gunter. Come hungry, we're having ourselves a casserole after beating off. That's from Gunter.
Yeah. I just don't get it. He's everywhere. I mean, guys have.
Mike Tirico taking shrapnel. I had no.
No, I didn't see this coming. It's the main topic of the day.
Mickelson. That's a better odds.
Well, I've
than
said
Mike
this
Tirico
before.
taking
I've said it a lot about Mike Tirico. He just shows up everywhere. It's like, the Golf Channel has enough. The Golf Channel has like 9,000 people that work there.
Sure they do.
But because NBC is part of the Golf Channel, he works for NBC. Well, I'll just, since NBC doesn't have the broadcast, I'll go to the Golf Channel and do some stuff.
Is it possible they told him?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he doesn't tell himself, hey, I'm going to show up.
Well, then what do you have to complain
but
about?
I bet when he signed this contract, he had little things like, okay, I need to go to the Masters, I need to go here, I need to be here. I think he asked to do those things. Again, nice guy, but
that's how you get to be at the top, is because you want to actually do things.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm just saying, I would rather have the experts. Now, it's either him or Rich Lerner. Who cares? They're both.
It was
Rich Lerner.
Rich Lerner.
But he got turned into Learn.
Yeah, Rich Lerner. I had to correct myself. Lerner. He's no better. He's kind of a pompous ass.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know who Richard Lerner is.
Learn.
No, I've heard stories about him out there.
Like what?
Like fan page gossip.
What's he done?
No, I've heard from people that actually work with him.
What's he done?
No, I'm not going to say anything. But
you don't like him working either, do you?
No, that's his job. He works for the Golf Channel. He doesn't work for NBC. He works for the Golf Channel. And you got somebody like Kelly Tillman that's nowhere to be found anymore.
Doug, where's Kelly Tillman?
Tirico took her spot.
Probably. Now, I do see she did a podcast, or she did a, I still refuse to call her Renner. It's Amanda Balionis to me.
What a take. What a stand.
But
That's her married name.
I know. But, I mean, you're known as
It's not like you're doing
Balionis.
Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, or Lou Alcindor, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I know, but you got your name as Balionis. People knew you as Balionis.
She got married.
I know, but just keep Balionis. A lot of people get married and keep their last names. But she did. She tweeted out, or was on Instagram, said thank you to the ladies who had me on their show, and I think it's something like "We Are the Ladies" or something like that. And I saw Kelly Tillman in the chair, so I guess that's Kelly Tillman is basically relegated to doing a podcast that nobody hears about, when she was one of the best things the Golf Channel ever had.
We're about to win.
And she's now being taken over by Rich Lerner and
Clearly, you're fed up.
Mike Tirico.
They're all pompous. Let's be honest. None of these guys are. Hey, hang out and have a beer with me. Type
And she
of
doesn't
guy.
have an English. She doesn't have an English accent, so she can't host the show from. I guess they're in Los Angeles now, or New York. I don't know where they moved to.
Doug, where are they?
It's one of the two.
Now,
They're not in Orlando anymore. I don't know where they went.
When Augusta, like when they interview like celebrities, they had like Carly Lloyd, they had Ryan Fitzpatrick. They had celebrities, athletes from other sports, and like, do they pepper them with like keywords? Because it's all about the pageantry and the tradition.
Oh, and the patrons.
Yeah, and they shoved it down your throat as if you've never heard those terms before and don't even know like what tradition and pageantry is. I do love the golf course. I love it less when they talk about it like that, as if this is like, I love Busch Stadium and the Cardinals. The more I hear the fans talk about it, the less I want to go. And
Yeah.
I feel like Augusta's the same way.
And I've about had it with Chairman Ridley, too.
I think there's a lot of things that need to be changed with that. The
Come on, Ridley.
pageantry.
And I
Ridley
will-
apparently was an amateur champion himself.
He was a U.S. Ham champion.
Okay, that's what I just said.
Well, you said apparently. It was not apparently. He was.
He was, yes. I guess more than once, even.
No, he only won the U.S. Ham once.
But he was a hell of a player, I
think
guess.
he's a runner-up, though, a
Big
few times.
corporate lawyer.
Yeah.
And I've had
money.
to hear with him.
He's got money. Just because he's a U.S. Am champ doesn't mean he's going to Augusta.
but
He's got money.
But it means he knows golf.
Yeah, he does.
That's why he was in that spot.
Yeah. But I saw your Unplugged. Somebody put it up. Maybe you did.
What?
It was on the Camo V, or maybe yours, about the Unplugged you did about Augusta. And stop with azaleas. We all have flowers.
Yeah, this is
Ooh,
a
look at
couple
the
years
trees. I know. It was about 3 years ago, but I hadn't seen it before. It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Maybe we can find that.
Well, these aren't like ancient ruins where like mastodons and like Jesus Christ rose from. I mean, it is like just a golf course in Georgia.
Every golf
it's
course has
spectacular
trees
looking.
and birds.
Come on, Doug, it's
Grass?
iconic. And you Augusta National members better get your. You know, you need to figure out. It's 4 please. The name of the golfer now driving. Don't give it your own little touch here. They're mixing them up.
How's it supposed to sound?
4 please. Now driving. Phil Mickelson. No, there's a routine to it.
Yeah.
4 please. Phil Mickelson now driving. They're doing it all wrong. They're all doing. I'm going to do it differently. 4 please. Driving. Mickelson. Now driving. 4 please. They're just mixing them all up to have their own little
God,
thing.
I can see why that would really.
Yeah, there's
ruffle
one
your
way to
feathers.
do it.
You think there's anyone from St. Louis who belongs to Augusta National?
It used to be.
Got to be somebody.
Ford Hardin and his son belonged there.
Yeah.
I think they both passed away. And he was the chairman of Augusta National. But he was also a member of St. Louis
Chairman
Country Club.
Hardin.
Hord Hardin. H-O-R-D.
Yeah, I remember him. He used to be on the broadcast.
He was the chairman of Augusta National, kind of
Yes.
like Fred Ridley.
I know.
But he was from St. Louis.
I got that.
Well, you asked a question. You think
Well,
there's
but
any
you said
St.
he
Louis
answered it
people, and I just
4
answered
times.
it.
But he's not around anymore.
No, wait, you didn't say are there any live people that belong.
I
You just
assumed
asked
that
St.
you knew
Louis.
that.
Doug, there is arguably unprecedented anger right now in the EDF group text.
All about tradition. All about.
No, probably about hijacking. I would
Yeah,
think.
that's what Iggy's got a good. Iggy's got a good read. Good morning. The Iggy Show is really banty this morning. That's from Jackson's buddy Sweet Sweet Kai, and Sweet Sweet Kai wants it known he will not be going to Tennessee later this month.
Oh.
So he does
Well,
not.
that's disappointing for Jackson.
Yeah.
One less hole.
Why is it that no one can tell a story on this show without that old bat barging in with something to say?
Who's telling a story?
That's from the Illside. Illside, call in 636-9004-TMA, and you can tell us. I've been listening to the show for like 25 minutes, and Iggy has talked for 20 of those minutes. That's from the reluctant cock. Shut up, Orange!
Oh.
That's from TJ, I'm sorry. Man, Doug can't complete a thought without being cut off by Grandpa Whistle Snoot. That's from Uncle Cocker. Oh, gosh. I heard Mike Tirico's been appearing all of our broadcasts as part of his trade deal with Dr. Miami to showcase his new helipad-sized areola.
Oh. Grandpa
areolas or areolas? Areolas.
It's
I think it's areolas.
Yeah. Grandpa Whistle Snoot. That's probably not fair. That's not fair. You're not a grandpa.
Well, if I had kids, I'd be. But,
Think about that.
If they had kids. If you had
if
kids
I had kids
and
and they had kids, but I'm
then
guessing
yes.
if I had kids, they'd
that
probably
would,
have
That would
kids.
define the term grandpa. or
Well, I'm
grandfather.
old enough to be a grandpa, but I'm not.
I understand that.
I
Same
feel
here.
effing dumb listening to Pepper and Queenie in these takes. Let people work. Jesus. It's from Mike Dan's Hitman. That allows us to give you a reminder. Today is the last day to vote for Pepper and Jeannie as the best show in St. Louis. You go to stlmag.com and you vote. Now, we believe Deke Dodom's program should take care of that for you. But if you'd like to put one in, please do stlmag.com.
I don't know. I think if we finish in the top third, we at least get a plaque, I think.
Nice.
If you buy it.
Well, I don't know.
No, I do know. Because I won one of those one year, and they invited me to the show, to the dinner banquet. It was like $100 a guest. And then they said, here's the plaque you can have if you can pay us like $245.
Did you win or top three?
Well, that was for winning some category. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, if you finish top
But it was
three,
going to cost me like $400 or $500.
Yeah, that's what they want.
That's the marketing plan. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's the plan.
Well, I won't be. If Flossie wants to go ahead, but we
Oh,
won't.
are you going to go to the banquet?
No.
We won't win. Well, we're not going to be Courtney. so-
I don't want to sit through the whole thing. My whole
I don't know that it's an Oscar style presentation.
If it's more than
I think
10
it's
minutes.
just I think it's just a party maybe.
That's what it is. You just mingle.
Yeah.
Oh, then hell no.
Hey, sweet, sweet Kai, I will fist you while my wife gapes your mouth with her strappy, you little twink
Okay.
Wilbur piggy. That's from the recovering alcoholic.
Okay, recovering alcoholic, that got you suspended.
Why?
That got you suspended a period of 2 days' time in your name right now. is going into the suspension logule. It doesn't feel very good to get suspended.
I'd
does
like
it?
to see him
Wouldn't
stick
think so.
something in Sweet Sweet Kai's mouth and shut him up.
Is there anything on social media Iggy doesn't see? He sees golf commentators with last names he doesn't care for. He sees Doug stuff. He sees porn stars. He sees Dave Portnoy's takes, despite saying he doesn't follow them. Grandpappy Wheezy Beaks sees all. Thanks, that's from Cal May's oversized, brightly colored blouse.
Show me where I said I don't follow Dave Portnoy.
Doug, show him.
I haven't got that documentation
No,
with
this
me.
texter, this oversized Cal May shirt, says even though he doesn't follow him, he's no. Where have I said I don't follow Dave Portnoy? I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I just don't agree with half of the stuff he says.
He's the guy that goes around the country liking pizza or not liking pizza.
Yeah,
eats a lot of pizza.
He doesn't own Barstool anymore. I guess he's got a contract where he sold it, but then still gets $10 million a year to run it.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. And he just brags about where he's at. Yeah, not so big on Paris, but I do like Venice. Shut up.
Okay, that's enough of that talk.
Why do you follow him?
Yeah, it's kind of a hate follow now.
Oh, that's what I do. Foreplay and Riggs killed me all week.
Are you going after them?
I went after them.
Did you really?
What'd you say?
Weebs. They're rooting so hard against Koepka just because their boys Max Homa, Kuchar, McIlroy are like non-existent. And so they're just fanboys who threw tantrums. And then, you know, Riggs, his Tiger obsession is weird, bro.
His what session?
Like, he's really into Tiger more than what I think a lot of people should be. It's a weird obsession. So I went after Riggs and Foreplay.
Oh, did you let him have it?
Sometimes I have to. Sometimes I see something I just can't.
What'd you say to him?
What I said. I quote tweeted where Foreplay was rooting against Brooks. I said, look at it, little fanboys throwing tantrum because their boys missed the weekend.
Oh.
No, I just don't like how he thinks he knows everything not Riggs. Riggs is all right. But Portnoy. Let's just I'll use this as an example. Let's just say the golf tournament was called off Saturdays at 1 o'clock. I'm just using it for example.
Sure.
All right. Play suspended for the rest of the day at 1 o'clock.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Like 1:20, he puts on his Instagram.
What do you say?
I'm hearing that they're going to cancel this third round. I said, you're hearing? They canceled it 30 minutes ago.
What do you mean by that?
There he is trying to show up. I'm hearing they're going to cancel
He's a little late.
Well, it's, 30 minutes ago they canceled it.
You said him
Who are you
straight.
hearing it from?
Yeah.
So I said that. I said, who are you hearing it from? They
You said
canceled
it
it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
How are the sports? Are they great?
Yeah. So who angers you more, Portnoy or Mike Tirico everywhere?
They don't really anger me. It's just, I see that and I said, what are you trying to show off? Like, oh, yeah, Augusta just called me. I'm hearing they're going to cancel it. Well, they canceled it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I will say your tweet almost got like 1 million, like, I don't know if it's views. I forgot how Twitter does that.
Impressions.
Impressions, is that what it is? Thank you.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it was like 897,000 impressions.
People saw
Didn't have
it?
a lot of likes or tweets, but like people saw it. Yeah, that.
Well,
scrolling
because
through,
it was on his Instagram.
Was
thing,
it
so-
possible that he tweeted that before it had been canceled?
No, because I saw where it said when he tweeted it. I just happened to see it, and it says tweet was like 20 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I said, well, they canceled it 30 minutes ago.
So you let him know about it.
These two crack me up. They are what they hate in the audience. And they talk about their tweets like they have as many followers as Taylor Swift. That comes from Chairman Steve from Wildwood. Doug, he's requested a name change.
Chairman Steve.
Drinkowitz is my
There's only
cover
one
photo,
chairman.
and like I'm happy with the followers I have. I just said I tweeted back at them. I didn't say my huge account that everybody follows tweeted back at Riggs, the little minion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I
I
didn't
mentioned
say that.
I think I mentioned like twice in the last month that I tweeted something. I don't really tweet that much.
No. But you keep an eye on
I
it.
need
It's
something
just
else to bitch about.
Oh. Well, it shouldn't take long to find something.
Well, you can go to hbgolf.com and be happy because you're going to get 15% off your order of incredible golf apparel by entering the promo code TMA15. These are tailored to fit golf shirts, hidden collar stays, and polos that stay sharp. You can wear them to work, you can wear them out to dinner, you can wear them at the game or on the course. 4-way stretch jersey fabrics for premium moisture wicking and fresh and bright color palette for spring. You can find them on PGA Tour players, Chris Nagel, friend of the show, and in 1,500 of the country's absolute top-tier pro shops. Holderness and Bourne is the name of the company, and they are a sponsor of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Check them out at hbgolf.com. hbgolf.com and use promo code TMA15 for 15% off your next order. That's hbgolf.com. Doug, could you tell the people about Ryan Kelly, who's our title sponsor and has been for a decade, Jack?
He has been. It's been great to have him as our title sponsor, too. I can't think of anyone we'd rather have as Ryan Kelly. I can't think of anyone you would need more if you're in the market to buy a house or if you just like to refinance maybe and take care of all that credit card debt. With inflation here, people are taking on more debt than ever. If you're a homeowner, leverage your equity, put the equity in your home to work for you with a simple cash-out refinance. Why would I do that? Well, maybe you've got credit card debt. The average credit card interest rate is over 24% now. That's the highest it's been in more than 30 years. With inflation, people are carrying more debt than ever now. Put that equity to work with you with a simple cash-out refinance. The average home loan expert client receives more than $54,000 cash out on their refinance. Hopefully that's enough money. You can take that money out, pay off the interest on your credit card rate,
do it.
Credit card just disappear, so you stop making that payment, put it into your mortgage, and now you'll be happy. I've done that twice. I refinanced twice with Ryan Kelly. His staff, very simple to work with, lovely people, just lovely people. They'll take good care of you as they've done with us. That's Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. Also, if you're looking to buy a house,
do it.
Good time to do it. As Ryan says, even though the rates are a little high now, they are down in the 5s now.
Yeah.
You marry the house, you only date the rate. So if you find that house that's right in your wheelhouse, go ahead and buy it. Maybe in a couple of years, the rates come down, refinance again, you get the lower rate. He can take care of all your needs when it comes to that. He's at thehomeloanexpert.com. Thank you, Ryan Kelly. Thank you, Sir Mortgage.
There it is. And when you are looking for a place to go this weekend, you got the Cardinals in town. Doggies, Doug, doggies in town.
Yeah.
And the X always hang out at Maggie O'Brien's pre- and post-game. Eddie McVeigh and his great staff will take care of you on Market Street. And, of course, the Sunset Hills location. Maggie O'Brien's, you know what you're going to get. You've got an Irish pub, family-owned by a local family that's been in the market, on market, for 40 years. And you know they will take great care of you, and you know what to expect. Place is packed with City Park right across the street now. It's Maggie O'Brien's in downtown St. Louis with delicious food and the coldest beer in town. And, of course, in Sunset Hills. That's Maggie O'Brien's, longtime sponsor of TMA. Send your emails in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And you are welcome to text in to our EDF group text inbox, 314-881-TMA5, or call in like Tucker has chosen to do. Is he still there?
He is not.
Oh, I lost out on Tucker. I apologize. All right. 636-9004. TMA. We close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan with Doug Vaughn to tell you about a new TMA sponsor, and that sponsor is Green Envy, a locally owned and operated company that can take great care of your lawn this spring. They've been in business, Doug, in St. Louis for over a decade.
Well, they know the conditions that exist here in Missouri. It's hard to have a perfect lawn in Missouri. It gets really cold, it gets really hot, it gets really wet, and then really dry. If you don't have people that know what the conditions are like in Missouri, you're going to have trouble. But Green Envy, these people have got it figured out, I tell you.
Yeah, they really do. They treated my lawn earlier this month, and they can do the exact same thing for you. And Green Envy is a company that both Doug and I are using to make sure that our lawns look absolutely spectacular this coming spring and summer. You can work with Green Envy as well. 636-757-1600. That's 636-757-1600. Green Envy.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly. And if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobiggs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, inflation very high. Interest rates are high. It's a tough market out there, and yet you're finding a way to help people pay off some of those high-interest credit cards.
Absolutely. You know, one of our most popular loan programs is a cash-out refinance, and that's where you're able to tap into your equity and pull that cash out to help get caught up on bills, pay off debts, credit cards, make home improvements, whatever you like. Let me give you a good example. Let's say that right now your house would appraise for $400,000, and you owe $300,000. That means you have $100,000 in equity right now. And with that cash out refinance, we go in and replace your current loan with a new loan, and we pull that equity and give it to you at closing. In fact, our average client last year received over $54,000 at closing with a simple cash out refi. How much can you get? What would you do with that money? Would it change your life? Well, let's find out now. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Come back,
Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Are up next in the draft. Second overall.
Oh,
The
cut it
St. Louis
out.
Blues.
Cut it out.
I think I raised my chair, and now it looks like I'm Producer Joe hovering.
Oh.
Watch this. Yeah, I'm going to lower my Sibian. I'm going to lower my Sibian. I can't lower my Sibian enough. God bless America. Ah! I was too low in the first hour, so I raised my chair. Now I've raised my chair that you can only see my nipple tassels.
Oh.
Look at my nipple tassels.
I'm not going to.
Dad. See, appliances counters 8 o'clock hour. Yeah. My name is Tim McKernan. That's Doug Vaughn. And across from me is Darren Atkins. In a secret studio is Jackson Burkett. And Ken Strode had to leave. He was on the phone with Mike Tirico.
Yeah. You wanted to ask him to please stop showing up at the major events.
I think the problem is he always goes, well, they need longer break. That was a 7-minute break. So I feel like we're just never going to get Iggy back on time.
No.
Yeah, that was a longer break.
Yeah.
I had time to enjoy my Nana. Can you imagine if I was enjoying my Nana while you could see my nipple tassels?
Well, he often says about things, I don't care. And the one thing that he really doesn't care about is getting back on time
That's
for the
right.
next segment.
That's right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Strode has just walked
Here
into
he
the
is now.
Michelob Ultra Studios. Michelob Ultra, sponsor of the Fan Page Club Championship. 20 days from today.
Oh.
You want to feel nerves? Stand over a golf ball on Augusta's 18th hole with a 4-shot lead. Look what happened to John Rahm, Doug. He had to hit a provisional.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, 4-jacked on an 18th green. Imagine what it's like at the Fan Page Club Championship, now known as the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship, presented by Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. You want nerves? You want pressure? Playing the Fan Page Club Championship, Jack.
There's just so much more at stake, and it's so much more prestigious.
Thank you. It's a net event.
Right. The greatest golfers in the world have never won the Fan Page Club Championship.
I think Aunt Peg is...
Well, you look at
85th.
Palmer and Nicklaus and Player and Woods. These guys have never won it.
That's true.
It's the one thing missing from their resume.
That's true.
You try bouncing back from a 4-putt double bogey on the first hole. You'll melt. Not John Rahm, but
Right.
Fan
Talking to you,
Page Club
Doug.
Championship. I mean, if you 4-putt the first hole and lose your hole, you're probably done for the day.
Don't lose your hole.
You won't bounce back from that.
I don't see how you could.
I won't 4-putt, but
You might.
somebody will.
You 4-putted before.
Oh, I'm sure I have many times.
Yeah.
Speaking of 4-putting, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if did the promo play in the previous break?
No, but it'll run in the next one.
Oh, can we play it anyway, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
What promo are we talking about?
I mean, it's in your email.
My Gmail or my...
Yahoo?
No, it's not in your email, but apologies.
Oh, you're good. I didn't know if I missed
What is it
it.
a promo of?
I'm teased.
You don't know?
What are we talking
I just
about?
lowered. Now I'm too low again.
Hey, I'm trying to get it so I can give it to Plowhawk here.
I didn't mean to be
Did I miss something as I walked in?
What
though?
is
You
the
kinda-
promo?
That's the idea. Is we're trying to tease. If we're just gonna say it, then there's no
Oh,
point
I
in
see
playing
it. I see it. I see it.
All
I
right,
see it.
ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, but I don't...
This is my nurse.
Let me
Doug, let's talk about our lawn while the plow.
Okay.
copy and paste.
My lawn really does look good.
Mine looks great.
Green envy.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Right. The neighbors are already the ones green with envy. Nice. My grass looks great. And, you know, it's not that hard to have a lawn that looks pretty good in April. You wait till June, July, August, the dog days of summer roll around. It'll still look great with Green Envy because they know exactly what your yard needs. They localize their products so that they're good for our soil and weather conditions and turf types. This is what makes them so good. Also, it's the people they have. They got service professionals that are licensed applicators certified by the Missouri Department of Agriculture. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I was
You don't have a
talking-
bunch of part-timers who don't know what they're doing.
I'm telling you, I was talking with Jake over there on Friday, and they were already over at the house 1 or 2 times, 2 times now already, and the lawn looks incredible. I don't recall my lawn ever looking like this early in the year. Well, Green Envy makes it happen. The phone number is 636-757-1600. They're open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Saturday,
9 a.m. to 1 p.m. 636-757-1600. It is Green Envy. All right, Plow, I'll give you...
I mean, I can just play it through the system, yeah. So
Doug, this is the
Okay,
system.
play it through the system this time, please. Go ahead and hit the lever, Plowsy.
Let me make sure that this is the one.
This time, let's play it through the system.
All right, let's roll.
Okay.
For more than 7 years, the Totem Tournament has been a rite of spring. The azaleas and dogwoods waking the golfing world from its winter slumber.
So, the Dotem's back May 18th and 19th at Normandy Golf Club. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Get your foursome together. That's still funny. And join Tim, Iggy, Doug, Jackson, and Plowsy for a day out on the course. And you better do it the second they go on sale, because it sold out in 3 minutes last year. Tickets go on sale Friday, April 14th at 8 a.m. at tmastl.com, with a portion of the proceeds benefiting Birdies for Bipolar. Your ticket gets you in on all the debauchery, including your Mick Ultra beer, breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Rockstar Tacos, and a kick-ass after-party with smash burgers from Rockstar Tacos. The return of the 7th annual TMA Dotem Golf Tournament, brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer, and Family Golf and Learning Center. Learn, practice, and play your best golf. Visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. Get all the Dotem info now at TMASTL.com.
There it is, Doug. There it is. How do you do? The great Hubbard Marty with the promo. So, tickets, foursomes will go on sale on the 14th, this Friday. This Friday. You better be ready at 8 o'clock, Jack.
Okay.
It's presented by Michelob Ultra, and it will take place at Normandy. Once again, Lisa Ann will be back. It includes all of your Michelob Ultra. It includes all of your Donut Drive-In for breakfast.
Does it?
Rockstar Tacos made right there on site for lunch, and then smash burgers for dinner for your nightcap right after the round.
Right, just to keep that caloric intake up, up, up.
Jackson, did I leave anything out?
No, I think you nailed it, Tim. And of course, fun and hilarity will ensue.
Amen.
Now, do we need to sign up if we're going to play, if we're going to try to play?
No.
All your beers involved too, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you can't beat that.
With
People
stick.
walking out after 18 holes with like 19 smash burgers in their bag.
Oh, we've had that issue with pizza.
We saw it last year. The pizza thief.
It's easier to hide smash burgers. Though. You're just smashing some in your pockets.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff too. I got some Rockstar taco sauce at home.
Did you?
Yeah, they dropped some off one day and I took some.
How is it?
Good.
Is
Very
it
good.
There you go. So, make sure you are online on Friday at 8 a.m., tmastl.com, and register your foursome. You can play both days if you would like. Last year, Friday sold out in, I think it was less than 2 minutes, if memory serves. And then Thursday was like 3-4 minutes. So it's the 18th and the 19th at Normandy. It is the Dotem, presented by Michelob Ultra, a tradition unlike any other in St. Louis area golf.
That promo, at first I thought they had edited in some words to make it sound like the Dotem, like it was actually a promo for maybe the Masters. I don't know. But then, as I think about it, I guess they didn't really have to dub in the words because
that's correct.
Yeah.
Jimmy Roberts has attended this the last 6 years.
It is a tournament like no other. It's
And
just nice to be involved with a tournament as prestigious as this.
Yeah. St. Louis wants it, but it's at Normandy.
Our pre-party is Wednesday night?
I believe so. I don't know if that's been announced yet.
And then we'll broadcast live from there Thursday and Friday.
I don't know if that's been determined yet.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought we did last year, didn't we?
We did, but I don't know if that's been determined yet.
Then I spoke out of turn.
I don't know if you spoke out of turn. I don't know if it's been determined.
It was just speculation.
Just thinking out loud.
Wasn't that an Ed Sheeran song, Doug? Is that an Ed Sheeran song?
I don't know who sang it.
Jackson, that's an Ed Sheeran song? You love Ed Sheeran, I know.
I do love Ed Sheeran. That sounds right.
Was that in Game of Thrones?
He was in Game of Thrones, yes.
He had one line.
No, he sang a song.
Yeah, and then she says, I like that song. That's from my new album. Did he say something that's from my new something or other?
No, he said it's a new one. He didn't say new album.
That would have been great.
I didn't think they had
Showing off the
LPs
rails.
back then.
By the way, speaking of HBO television shows, I'm not going to say a thing about it outside of Succession last evening. That's it. Doug, I'm going to say Succession
period, last evening, period.
Good or bad?
It got ruined for me already on the internet.
Oh.
So you haven't seen it?
No, so I was like, I was tired last night, so I was like, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I'm sure that I can avoid spoilers. But nope, as soon as I wake up and see Twitter this morning, it absolutely ruined. People can't keep in their excitement boners for 5 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on episode 5 of season 1.
Yeah, you got time.
No, you got plenty of time. Was last night episode 3 or 2?
3.
I think it was episode 3.
I don't know what
Yeah, I keep wanting to watch it. I said, nah, I like waiting until it's done and then watch it all at once. But I'm like you. If it gets spoiled, then I'm mad.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. It's just annoying that like people like can't like chill out for 5 seconds and like I don't know. I like watching it week by week because I like to get involved in the discourse around it. It was my favorite thing during like White Lotus because there was so much around that. But now, if you don't watch it immediately, there's a good chance it's gonna get spoiled for you.
That is true. You got to be careful when you open up social media.
Yeah,
That's why I'm just saying Succession, period, last night, period.
I appreciate you having awareness, Tim. I wish everyone else had the same awareness.
Nice lemonading, Jackson.
Deke Dotem wants to know if you can play in your foursome for the Dotem again, Doug.
In my foursome?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever.
Oh, yeah, we
maybe
played
one
with
year
him.
we played with he and his dad.
Yeah,
right?
Henrik Stenson of St. Louis.
I don't know that he was the Henrik Stenson of anything.
Guys, did that idiot in the same breath crap on someone for stealing pizza and then seconds later brag about stealing taco sauce? 0 period, self period, awareness period. That's from Johnny Johnson. You worked with him in Springfield.
Didn't steal any. They brought it in for everybody, and I was given one, so that's not stealing.
Doesn't seem like it.
Anything else, Johnny Douche?
636-9004-TMA, Johnny Johnson, if you'd like to have a question. Step right up and watch The Amazing Strode hijack a segment about an HBO show that he hasn't even watched yet. I have faith in you, Ken. Only you can accomplish this feat. That's from little Tommy Tribbins, who's out in the parking lot on a trike.
I haven't hijacked anything. All I said is I usually like to wait until the season's over, but I don't know if I can because it'll be spoiled at some point. That's all I said. And we were talking about Succession, so I jumped in. Sorry, I hijacked.
No, you didn't.
I hope you fall off your training wheels.
Oh, Tommy Tribbins
Gosh.
took a hit. Didn't know it was coming. CA Appliance Discounters, 8 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. If you are in the market for an appliance, look no further than Appliance Discounters and their 80,000 square foot warehouse full of GE appliances and other major brands ready for delivery. Shop online at theappliancediscounters.com, where pricing has been adjusted to beat all the competition. I am a client there. Doug is a client there. We both have gotten appliances from Appliance Discounters this year. They have 5 area locations in St. Louis, and you just have to go online at theappliancediscounters.com to work with Denise Bradley, John Bradley, and their staff at The Appliance Discounters. They have an 80,000 square foot warehouse just ready to go with GE appliances for you. When your dishwasher goes out, when your refrigerator goes out, you don't have the time to wait for weeks or even days. You need it quick. They can take care of it quickly for you. I can speak to that because I got a dishwasher from there when ours went out back in January, and it was installed within a matter of hours. TheApplianceDiscounters.com, sponsor of our 8 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. 7 o'clock hour brought to you by Munganess was a lot of Masters talk. Doug, what would you like to go? I feel like the next play is the Cardinals now that we've had this big Dotem golf tournament announcement brought to you by Michelob Ultra along with Munganess and Family Golf. Cardinals to me, but maybe you want to talk Battlehawks and an overtime win. Maybe you want to talk Doggies losing 2 in a row. Maybe you want to talk O'Neal Cruz being out because he's on the Prime Minister's. I'll talk about anything with you. You just
I
tell
guess
me.
the Redbirds, only the Baltimore Orioles are farther out of first place in baseball than the Cardinals. Last place, 4 games out.
And the Orioles are only 4 and 5, but the Cardinals are 3 and 6, and they're having some problems here with offense to go along with having starting pitching performances.
Can't get the big hit. They've hit for a pretty high average. At one point, at least a day or two ago, they had the highest batting average in baseball, but they're not hitting a lot of home runs, and except for Jordan Walker, they're not getting a lot of timely hits. Walker's hitting every game so far.
He has. He has tied a major league record. He's tied the Splendid Splinter.
Yeah, for people 20 and under, most consecutive games hit safely at the start of a career.
And he hits the crap out of the ball.
He does. I'd like to see him move up a little in the lineup. I'm sold. I don't think he needs to be hitting 6th, 7th, 8th. Get him up there. Put him at number 2.
You were saying yesterday with the bases loaded and Brendan Donovan up,
you'd like to see Taylor Motter hit. And I was like, when you texted me that, I'm like, oh, wow, that's surprising that he's on the team and that you wanted him up to hit with the bases loaded and 2 outs. But you got your wish. He did come up, and it didn't work out, but that was the decision.
Well, could have been Paul DeYoung if Paulie was healthy.
That's the guy you would like to have seen. He was down in Palm Beach. But
Right.
Surprising move with that one. Contreras pinch hit for Kisner because Contreras didn't start the game. That makes sense. But Donovan has struggled after killing it on opening day. He has struggled as of late. And they went with Motter instead of Donovan. Dylan Carlson was available, as was Yepez. But that was the direction that Ali Marmol, who didn't have a great week, decided to go.
Yeah. It's kind of been a worst-case scenario all around so far, again, except for Walker. Because the big guys, Goldschmidt and Arenado, while they're, again, hitting for a pretty good average, they're not hitting for a lot of power and have left a lot of runners on base. And Wainwright's still out. The starting pitching has been as bad as we feared that it might be. A lot of us optimistic that it wouldn't be, but it's been just as bad as the skeptics were afraid of. The bullpen hadn't been especially good. It's just kind of been a worst-case scenario. But again, it's the first week of the season, and we tend to exaggerate everything and think, well, this is the way it's going to be the whole year. It's not the way it'll be the whole year.
The thing with the rotation is the rotation has a limited ceiling, even if they do get it turned around. And unfortunately, right now, they're performing, for the most part, at their floor. Montgomery has been solid, but I don't know if Montgomery has necessarily got ace stuff. Miles Michaelis, big-time concern. Jack Flaherty with more control issues, and Steven Matz will get a chance to try to negotiate the altitude in Colorado here this evening.
That's not a fun place to get turned around as a pitcher, of course. But Plowsy keeps thinking Matz is the second coming of Sandy Koufax, so we'll see what he's got.
I mean, I've been following the Cardinals for a while.
Have you?
I mean, they were on TV and great Fox Sports Midwest when I was in Canton, so I've watched them. This is the worst rotation I have ever seen. And I'm not kidding. Like, I know the names aren't maybe as bad as what maybe the Cardinals have had in the past, but I get that it's the first week of the season. You could put a positive spin on that take, but you can also put a negative spin on that. They're getting lit up. They just got back from spring training. It's not like they're just trying to get in the groove. These guys, they're playing in the World Baseball Classic and playing in the spring training, and they are just getting rocked. I don't see it getting any better once it gets more humid and where balls are just absolutely flying out of the – I just don't know if I see a lot of positives. Is Liberatore going to be your sixth starter? When is Wainwright coming back? You're just waiting for the other shoe to drop and have Flaherty go out with an injury or Matz go out with, and then you're really screwed. Like, where do you go from there? They have no backup options, even though Mozeliak said they had 6 starters.
Could be that the series, that the whole season is just a foregone conclusion that Tampa Bay is going to win it all. They're 9-0, and their run differential's 75-18. They've won every game by more than 4 runs. 4 runs or more. Anyway.
Yeah, how about what they're doing? My God.
That's unbelievable.
And they don't even have their full
close.
allotment yet.
No.
You know, Glasnow's not healthy, and I feel like there's another player who isn't playing for him right now, a position player. Because you look at their lineup, who are these people? But their starting pitching is so sick.
Yeah. They've been unbelievable.
The Brewers are the team. Brewers have more wins than anybody else in the National League. I don't think people necessarily saw this coming. I think they thought they might be the second best team in the National League Central. But the Cardinals situation at the moment, because of the rotation, but now a little disengagement from the offense, is one to monitor. And I really thought that was kind of an odd decision to go with Motter in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know.
And we talk about maybe adding a starter at a trade. You're trading Carlson at now, what, his worst possible value? I mean, he hardly plays. He hasn't really been productive. I just don't get who you're trading. Like, they're not – I mean, you need the guys – I mean, you need O'Neill. I don't know why you would possibly trade O'Neill when he's healthy. He's a decent player.
I think there's only a few people they wouldn't trade. They wouldn't trade Arenado, Goldschmidt, Contreras, Walker.
Well, what are you going to get for Carlson? What are you going to get for – I mean, I don't know where the starter
you could package a couple of them together. Edmund is probably available. Donovan might be.
I would agree with that.
I mean, you got Wynn sitting down there in the minors. It looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah, I just don't know where the depth is for a trade. You know, we talk about it, but, I mean, Carlson's like a 5th outfielder for a 3-7 team or 3-6 team. I don't really know. Where the value? What are you going to get for that?
Well, I wouldn't take Soto for him.
Yeah,
We beat that to death.
We're going to go back and look at that and laugh.
Ali Marmol talked yesterday following the game. What do we have here on Ali Marmol? Let's talk about Jordan Walker.
Wasn't much. I thought that I like less.
I went through the sound this morning, Jackson. He wasn't asked about the I realize probably most people are watching, or actually probably hanging out with their families more than watching the Masters yesterday. But if you were, the decision on the managerial strategy for the Cardinal lineup when they loaded the bases in the 8th inning, and that wasn't in there.
Yeah, it wasn't much, and then there was very little on the pitching outside of like Montgomery's performance Saturday. So
I already find myself wondering when Walker's going to come up again and make sure I see him bat.
Yeah.
A guy
How
bats.
great is that at 20 years old?
A guy
20
bats
years old.
almost every 40 minutes in the major leagues. So I kind of am already looking at the time to say, well, Walker may be coming up. Better turn over to the games.
He has played all 9 games and has a hit in all 9 games, 12 hits so far, so he's hitting .353. He has 2 home runs after the home run on, was it Friday or Saturday, and he has an OPS of .994. Highest OPS on the Cardinals right now, Doug? Nolan Gorman.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball well, too.
But
Yeah, they just...
Goldschmidt and Arenado both with 1 home run apiece.
Yeah, and they're not
Averages
getting the
there.
timely hit. They had runners all over the bases.
Yeah.
They just don't get the timely hit.
Meanwhile, the Brewers capitalized.
Yeah.
Willie Adames.
Yeah. Brewers have got some stud pitching, and that's usually the difference. That's usually the teams that win it. No matter what kind of offense you have, if you run into a great pitching, it usually stops you.
I mean, I'll let you know right now if Steven Matz and Woodford are pitching.
What are you
like,
going to let us know?
Deep into this season, we are done, bro.
Oh,
Like, we are
now
done.
Matz has had some track record of success.
Oh, God.
He had one really
dear
good year.
Mother, come on.
He did. He had one really good year in Toronto.
Okay. Great. Good for him. Chalk it up as a $50 million deal. Just a waste of money.
I
mean,
don't
you
know.
might as well just buy $50 million worth of vending machines and just put them
Don't
around
give
the
up on
stadium.
him.
Third manager in 5 years. All the bench coaches have bolted. TV deal with a bankrupt company. The Cardinals were the Steelers of Major League Baseball, and now they are a house of cards. No pun intended. That's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle. Engineered, designed facilities, text inbox.
Well, that's certainly how you could paint it after the first week of a very bad start.
I just go back to Max Scherzer begging to come here. A boatload of money sitting waiting for Bryce Harper.
Did he really
and you guys
beg?
just tank. Yeah, oh, dude, Max Scherzer definitely wanted to come here. Outside.
Do we know that?
Well, we know the Cardinals are too cheap to pay him. That we do know.
He's also hurt, as a lot of older pitchers get hurt.
The Cardinals are smart. They make an offer they know the player will refuse, but that they can show that offer to the fans and everybody else saying, hey, we tried. You know, we
Besides
came
the
in
three,
second.
Besides
you know.
the 3 or 4 Cy Youngs, what do you like about Max Scherzer?
The fact he's a local kid and everybody loves him, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of many things.
No. Well, it does look like they're going to have to do something to bring at least one starting pitcher in here. That seems reasonable at this point.
Wainwright expected to make his return by the end of the month. He threw before they took off for Milwaukee on Thursday. But the holes are, at the moment, beyond just one spot in the starting rotation. Doug, meanwhile, the Battlehawks win the first ever overtime game in XFL history. Huge crowd yet again.
I know. They had over 30,000, over 35,000, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, one in overtime. Their season's almost done. They've only got, what, 2 or 3 games left?
Let me take a look here on
It's getting right down to the end. It could be that they've just got 2 left. One on the road, one at home.
Let's see. 3. They're 6-2, and the defenders, Doug, have clinched a playoff berth. Meanwhile, the Vegas Vipers have been eliminated. Have the Orlando Guardians.
Yeah.
2 more weeks. And then
That's what I said, too.
2 more games?
And then the semifinals and then the championship, which will take place on May 13th, it looks like.
And the Battlehawks are in the playoffs? Have they
They
clinched?
have not clinched a spot. They host Seattle this Sunday. That's a
Okay.
great rivalry. That was the Thursday night opponent a month and change back.
Sure. But McCarron isn't at quarterback anymore. He get hurt?
He got hurt.
He must have.
He was announced as not playing before the game.
All right.
And you talk about Seattle. Well, that's where the Doggies went on Saturday night.
I watched that whole thing.
Just not a nice night for the doggies.
No, they got gobsmacked. They lost 3-0. Could have been a lot worse than that. In fact, they did score one more goal that got called away on a ticky-tack offside.
Did they score a goal the week before, or they shut out the week before, too?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, they're not scoring a lot of goals.
Well, not Saturday night they didn't. They just got thoroughly outplayed. I think Seattle's supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. But they were.
One of the toughest atmospheres. How about the entry? Do you like the entry?
I didn't see the entry.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw where Seattle's only given up, 4 goals all year.
Have they?
Toasted ravioli is ruining this whole entire season. Just
Ever since they went ravioli boys?
Ever since they went out and publicly said ravioli boys, they've been getting destroyed. Stop it, dude.
They went soft. Soggy ravioli.
Inventing toasted ravioli is like somebody else invented toothpaste and you put a mint flavoring and you think you invented toothpaste. I get that toasted ravioli is unique.
Yeah.
You didn't invent ravioli.
No.
And ravioli boys is a limp noodle filled with meat. That is not a deep fried ravioli. So
Where's this coming from?
It's just a take.
Needs to be toasted.
Are you talking about the ravioli boys thing or the Plowhawk right now?
No, the ravioli boy.
I don't know
Well,
what's going on.
I was asking Jackson.
A second ago, we were talking about the Seattle Sounders goals allowed. Now
Yeah,
we're talking
we don't
about
care about
toasted
that.
ravioli. I don't.
Well, I had to get it
can't
off my
follow
chest.
the path here.
We are the dogs.
It's a plowboy hijacking.
Yeah, it is. I just need to let people know toasted ravioli are great. We didn't invent ravioli, though.
No, it can't be
We just
ravioli
put
boys.
a
Toasted
nuanced-
ravioli boys.
Yes, we put a nuance to an already pre-made invention.
So the Sounders have given up 3 goals this season, and the Dogs have not scored in 2 consecutive games, yet still are tied for first for goals for in the Western Conference.
Huh.
There's some stats for you.
You were called Ravioli Head.
I was,
right.
and it was hurtful.
Were they actually directing that at you?
Yes.
We believe so. I think they were playing a clip of the show, and the guys who were hosting a show in L.A., I think it was during a Cardinals-Dodgers thing, not about the Rammies, said, "Shut up, Ravioli Head." And how about this? The Ravioli Boys thing, which I thought was just an April Fool's thing, there actually is a, for lack of a better term, I don't overstate it, concern about the dogs thing having momentum, and so this has kind of been a way to try to push it in a different direction to not have the dogs thing become the team, the unofficial team name. And
It's
so
not a derogatory name. It's not meant to be derogatory in any way.
I think it more has to do with this show than that.
Oh.
And I'm not talking about in a good way. And that was the move. So the soccer people inside the organization, not necessarily the players or coaches or anything like that, are not happy that this program's dogs thing has taken off like it has. And so there was an orchestration on the Ravioli Boys thing, which I thought was actually an April Fool's thing. And then I guess the guy who's popping up on local news with a ravioli head or something, I don't know, I'm not locked in on it. I want to watch more local news, I just don't get the chance. But
Is he a member of the organization?
I don't know.
He's an intern or something?
Well, what are you waiting for?
You got Purina right across your chest. I don't know why you would dismiss the dog. You could do a lot of marketing things with it, you'd think, with dogs.
Oh, we're 4-0 as a dog, and
We sure were.
0-2 getting slaughtered as ravioli.
That ought to count for something.
Well, what's the season, like a third of the way over?
No, not even.
No, they play 30-some-odd games, 32
well,
or something.
plenty of time to. But I was saying, what are you waiting for if you don't like the direction the dogs are going in? I mean, you can take care of it.
Oh.
You can wait till the end of the season. Yeah, we're just going to call our team the Ravioli Heads.
I just think that people around the country would think, what? Ravioli Boys? The hell is
Exactly,
that?
because we think it's bigger than it actually is. We need to stop. Everybody owns a dog in this country. Nobody cares about toasted ravioli outside of a small sect of people in St. Louis.
Yeah,
I
how
like
about-
them,
how
but
about-
my God, I'm not going to praise them.
Gooey Buttercake Boys or the Pork Steak Boys.
I didn't really, the dogs thing, just like it's something that you came up with spur of the moment, which was one of your, just lines, and we were just BSing about it. And then I liked the hats that Gangster Pete created.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that was kind of where I left it. And I knew some people in our audience were irritating, whatever, there's some page or message board where soccer people talk. But I didn't really care. And then I was on a call last week, and a person said, Yeah, your audience really has some people at City concerned about this dogs thing taking on a life of its own that they weren't planning. And so there was a Ravioli Boys campaign to try to counter it. And I go, God, I get not liking our show.
Yeah.
The guy who came up with dogs doesn't really like the show.
No.
But come up with something better if you're going to try to counter it, the Ravioli Boys. But whatever, hell, it
just
doesn't matter to
seems
me. If anything, I'm amused and flattered.
Yeah, it just seems like something that they could use to their advantage, with dog pounds and dog mascots and dog heads, merchandise, and all kinds of stuff.
Do they have a mascot yet?
I guess it's this Ravioli guy, this intern.
I mean, is he at the games in a ravioli hat?
I assume that he is.
To me, I think my guess is they're about to market these. Sure, they're about to buy this guy out and buy a bunch of ravioli heads and sell them in the store.
All right, everybody who listens to this show, if they go to the next home game, wear a dog mask or something.
If you wear a ravioli head, doesn't that block the vision of the guy behind you?
Yeah, I'm trying to get on board with this in terms of the soccer. If we do turn into the Ravioli Boys, it's over for me.
That's
I'm done.
done, yeah.
I'm done. I don't want a kit. I don't want a scarf. I don't want to go to the pitch. I don't want anything to do with it.
Mm.
'Cause it's not organic. Dogs was absolutely organic, came from out of nowhere. This is really trying a little too hard. And toasted ravioli is just not something I put on as like, you know, what St. Louis is known for. I want something more. than that.
Doug, Chairman Steve in Wildwood,
okay.
Chairman, has spoken. There was a line of over 100 deep to pick up Ravioli Boys shirts pregame last home game, and the douche with the ravioli head was on the Jumbotron during the game.
Oh.
I do think that there is indeed a concerted effort to try to counter the dogs. That's from Steve, but he goes now by Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
Right.
Well, you're turning this team into a joke.
Oh,
my God.
Gosh.
I mean,
the headwear is trash.
you know, nothing against Zamboni, but I mean, he's like a focus of all of his, you know, little cute little calls for the professional soccer team, and now you got a guy wearing a ravioli hat. I mean, this team is turning into a joke.
Yeah,
A novelty, by the way.
Yeah, the ravioli heads are that's dumb.
They're about to lose you as a fan.
They pretty much already did.
Oh.
But
I'll still take a kit, but.
Oh no, the stoner twink isn't on board with the soccer team. What will he ever do? Knock it off, Darren! That's from Ray King.
Gosh.
Oh, Ravioli Boy member, I'm sure.
You think he's a Ravioli Boy?
Standing room only. Look at how cool I am, Mom.
Maybe we can get that ravioli head on.
He has a pepper and genie.
Ask him.
There's no way I want to go 10 feet from a Cardinal Cowboys.
But it's kind of an interesting head. I mean, the hat that he wears is kind of funny.
It looks like a big pile of, like, crusted dog crap, dude.
Yeah,
like
but we know what it is. I'm just concerned if a lot of people wore those, the people behind you couldn't see a thing, could they?
Well, it doesn't care because you look cool.
Everybody's standing anyway, so you can just kind of go sideways.
Good morning. I feel uncomfortable agreeing with Ken, but naming our fat asses after a deep-fried carbohydrate dish seems like an awful idea. Doug, that comes from Arbor Day.
Okay.
What needs to happen is if our listeners really want to get the dogs on board, we just need, similar to the dog pound, we just need to mask up with a bunch of dog masks.
And people barking.
See if it plays on Jumbotron, see if it plays.
Yeah.
You'll never bark alone.
Oh, wow, YNBA.
Jackson.
I'm a Dogs all-day season ticket holder, bitch. That's from Ray King.
Well, at least he's on board with the dogs.
Most people don't care whether it's the Ravioli Boys or the Dogs. Please quit acting like it's a full percentage of the fan base that cares one way or the other. Darren! The Breakfast Club.
Well, we're talking about the fanboys.
I would suspect most people who go to the game don't have a clue either way.
Couldn't agree more.
I just don't know.
That's why I was when I was told about this, I was like, really? They're concerned about it? I go, okay. You know, Doug will find this amusing.
Yeah. You think the Cleveland Browns were concerned when they had the dog pound? You think, oh my God, we got to fight against a bunch of rabid fans. I thought they would have embraced it.
I'm not saying I would lose a lot of respect for somebody who wore those toasted ravioli heads. But I don't know if I could associate with anybody that wore them anymore.
Why? It's kind of a funny thing. It's okay. I just think Dogs is a little better.
Dogs is so good.
Guys, can we turn this episode of Pepper and Genie off? I thought that podcast had been furloughed. Also, Ravioli Boys is maybe the dumbest and most embarrassing nickname possible. It's from Stan the Caddy. He wasn't happy with Iggy's club selection on 18 at Belle Reve. Thought he didn't have enough club, and it turns out he was right.
Yeah, I bet when you tell players, many of them not from the United States, hey, you know what they're calling us? The Ravioli Boys. They go, what the hell?
Yeah, it's
At least St. Louis City and the Dogs/Ravioli Heads are part of a real sports league, unlike the meme dumpster XFL. Cacaw Guy is 100% the worst. Fats be fat.
Oh.
That's from the Bennetville Bear. Boy, everybody's getting called fat this morning.
No.
Bennetville Bear is not happy with the XFL.
I just wonder how long it's going to be around.
35,000 plus at that dome.
Well, it's doing great here. It doesn't draw anywhere close to a third of that in most other stadiums around the country. I guess it depends on that TV contract. If they're doing all right with the TV contract, it'll be okay. If the ratings are decent and ESPN continues to make some money that way, then they'll be okay.
Yeah, the interest level when ESPN tweeted out yesterday that they've got an XFL postgame show on.
Yeah.
Well, the comments on that, I'm like, well, I'm surprised they tweeted that out right in the afternoon of the Masters and full slate of baseball, and the NHL's wrapping up, and the Lakers just clinched a play-in game, and they went XFL. I'm like, I guess that's probably part of the deal, a social media clause in their contract,
Sure.
I guess. And, wow, it was not, I mean, around the country, outside of St. Louis, people are like, the XFL right now, really? And you're excited about your post-game show?
Do they do parades?
And then XFL parades?
If they won,
I don't know.
Like, are we doing a parade on March? I'm being
I
kind
don't
of
know.
serious.
Probably a little something.
It just seems a little odd.
It's like any major sport. If people don't know the players, it's hard to get them interested in it. It's like a lot of people are interested in Major League Baseball, but you go to AAA baseball, which looks like the same thing, nobody cares.
I don't know.
I still love it. Whether they hate our name or not, whether their hardcore supporters hate our show or not, I still like the product. Hey, guys, going with Ravioli Boys is 100% on brand for our town's lack of self-awareness. Joe Strauss would have been feasting on this. Thanks. That's from Big Tuft.
Where is the Big Tuft?
Clip that off.
Where is the Tuft?
Is it tough or tuft?
Tuft.
T-U-F-T.
Like the college, I guess. Tufts.
Well, you don't see many big tufts anymore. A tuft isn't big anyway. A tuft's just a little patch.
Little patch of lovely pubis.
So it could be anywhere, though.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Is tuft a like a size or a length thing? Because like you can have a small area of tuft, but it could be very long hair.
It's about the density of the bird's nest. So like it's when the
density of the bird.
It's when like pubes come together. Like it's like a big wad of cords. You know?
Don't say
like when
that.
your iPhone headphones used to get all jammed up.
Yeah, like that's
a tuft.
That's a tuft.
All right.
I would compare it to
like a soul patch.
A soul patch. Yeah, just a little soul patch of pubes.
Now, the definition is a bunch of collection of threads, grass, hair, held or growing together at the base.
Thank you.
Such as a scrubby tuft of grass.
Like it actually feels, you know those wire brushes, you know, that you have at like restaurants where you clean?
Yeah, a little scrubbing.
That is exactly, if you pat one of those metal brushes, and you pat a tuft that is matted, they're almost identical.
You like matted tufts?
No, I don't.
I think tufts that is matted.
No. A pube's a pube. It don't matter how many you have in a pile. It's not going to be like a wire brush.
Oh, it feels, no, that's like you can almost bounce it like a ball, like, that's how it is. It's like really, you can't comb it, but there's nothing at the base. It's just like the hair is tangled up above the base.
I don't think I've ever seen a real tuft.
I get them all the time.
Well, this says you
it's
can
like an
have
umbrella. Like your shaft is like you. So like you're never right under the umbrella. Usually there's that headroom from the umbrella to, you know, the base. So.
I'm seeing that it can be on your face, such as he had a few tufts of hair on his chin, but you couldn't really call it a beard.
Yeah, like a soul patch.
Sounds like a cuck definition. We can't really.
Guys, if we don't get a Battlehawks championship parade after we win the ship, we burn this city down. That's from Suckboy Tony of Sula.
Not again.
It was quite a game. I watched it. I was expecting to see A.J. McCarron. I didn't know he was hurt, but that other guy did a pretty good job.
Tiara? Is that his name?
Tiano?
Tiano?
Nice. One said the other guy, and
We don't even
both
know the
mispronounced
quarterback.
his
No, I think it's Tiano. I was thinking because it's kind of like Latin music.
Yeah.
Tiano.
If Pepper and Jeannie win Best Radio Show, the logical next step is for Pepper to be the master of ceremonies for the Battlehawks Championship Parade down Mackland Avenue.
I'm going to say
That's from KGNO town. Their parade's not going to be on Mackland?
Right by the Humane Society.
I'll be there.
By Forest Park.
Close to me.
You would
That's
go?
pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's on Mackland, I'll go. It's right there.
Yeah.
If it's on Market, maybe not.
Yeah, Mackland isn't that far from my house.
Seems like something they could do maybe through Dogtown or something, through the bars there.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, if you call it the Dogs, yeah.
Good morning. I know it's been discussed at length, but Soccer Fan Guy is the worst. I tried giving them a chance, but they're just such losers. I never thought Biker Guy on Manchester would be dethroned, but the soccer guys have really shown their gapes. That's from South City Otis.
Is the game Tuesday sold out against Ireland?
Doug?
Who's playing?
The USA women's team is playing Ireland at
The Republic.
Here?
City Park Tuesday.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, they're really promoting it.
Yeah, I had
I just happened to see a release, somebody saying if you media like to go to the airport and welcome the team.
So we're all media. We're going to do that?
Well, it was Sunday.
Should we do our show from the airport?
They came Sunday.
Oh, they're already here.
I got the email Saturday saying if you would like to, the media would like to come to the airport and welcome the Team USA to the airport. I wonder how many actually showed up.
There's tickets available.
Is there?
Yeah. $70, $65.
For a friendly.
Yeah. I mean, you got the St. Louis Zone Sauerbraten here. Is it Sauerbraten
Becky
or
Sauerbrunn.
Sauerbrunn?
Pride of Ladue High School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's a team captain now. Does that, what's her name not play anymore?
Who?
Yeah, the one who was the captain last time.
Uh-oh.
Carla
Alex
Lloyd?
Morgan?
Alex Morgan?
It's Alex Morgan,
Megan
Carly
Rapinoe?
Lloyd, Megan Rapinoe. Any of those girls still play?
No, I believe they've retired
they've all
from
moved on.
international.
No, we don't know anybody anymore on that team.
Becky Sauerbrunn, Pride
That's
of
it.
Ladue High School.
Well, that's it. Kind of dig that Alex Morgan.
4-time World Cup champion, U.S. women's national team.
I know you dig Brush Creek Valley, Iggy, don't you?
Yeah.
We got a chance to meet the fine people from Brush Creek Valley on Thursday
We
night.
did on Thursday.
In the suite at the Blues game. Blues and Rangers, overtime victory for your St. Louis Blues.
And they were asking us if you guys need any more meat.
That's
let us
right.
know. I said, I'm good right now. I got 2 pork chops thawing out for tonight. Eating a lot of meat lately. And thank Brush Creek for that. But spring is here, which means baseball, golf, the Dotem coming up. Doug's short shorts.
Okay.
Grilling season. Yes. So make sure you got Brush Creek Valley meats in your mouth. Brush Creek Valley Farms TMA box. It's a new look. A new look, Doug.
What's in this new box?
Last one we gave you all kinds of steaks.
Yeah.
This time we're giving you a little mixture of everything for grilling.
No fooling.
5 pounds of ground beef, 2 ham steaks, 2 sirloins, 8 bratwurst,
Oh.
and what I'm having now, 2 pork chops. And of course, each piece of meat does not contain any added hormones or antibiotics. So go to brushcreekvalley.com, search TMA at the top of the homepage. You'll be directed straight to the TMA box, and then apply the code TMA10. Doesn't matter if it's capitalized or not, Doug.
No.
Just TMA and then 10.
That's it.
During checkout. Brush Creek Valley Farms also offers a subscription option. That's if you just want to get in there every month, and this is what I want. I'm going to need 4 fillets. I'm going to need 2 porterhouse, whatever. You just put what you want in there, and you get it delivered every month. And yes, TMA10 code is applied to that as well.
Nice.
For 10% off.
Sick.
That's brushcreekvalley.com and use the code TMA10 at checkout for all the box and subscription orders. Brush Creek Valley Farms, high-quality meats for a lowbrow audience. And please note, Doug and boy shorts is not included, but you can DM him and he may send you a pic.
Yeah, for a price. Yeah.
Brush Creek Valley Farms, great meat.
Tommy Cibulka does not include Doug in boy shorts either, but he will include everything that you need for your vehicle's upfitting. That's why they are your one-stop shop at VIP Auto Accessories. That's right. One-stop shop, vehicle wraps, wide format printing such as banners, storefront signage, walls, floors, etc. Anything with graphics, Tommy and VIP can do. Plus, they're your one-stop shop. 3 in-house services to take care of it all for upfitting, design, production, and installation. VIP gets your fleet vehicles from dealership to street-ready, fast and personalized for your company's needs. They know that every day your vehicle isn't street-ready. It is lost revenue. Fleet vehicles, signage, graphics, and design. VIP does it all in-house
for your business. It's VIP Auto Accessories. Tommy Cibulka, he wants to hear directly from you. 314-428-3900, or just email him at tommy.cibulka@vipautoaccessories.com. That's vipautoaccessories.com. Tommy Cibulka and VIP. Breaking news from the golf world. This guy crushed my rosters, Doug, last week. Will Zalatoris is out for the year after having surgery, and he is out for the season. He had a microdiscectomy?
You had a vasectomy?
Microdiscectomy.
What is that?
Poor guy. What is he, like 25?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some issues.
What is that? What's that surgery on?
Back,
I would imagine it's back, just based on that's where he's had injuries. So Will Zalatoris, who, along with Kevin Na, cost me and my family what I would imagine would have been millions of dollars.
I think so, yeah.
And I would like an apology in that statement, but so far he has just stated that he is out for the year, as he just had surgery. So he just announced that on social media within the last few moments. Will
Too bad for him.
No, good luck to him. That's sad when you're that young, and now you're going to have to hopefully not deal with it after the surgery, and have to deal with back issues at 25.
And sometimes when you see these guys like McIlroy at the Masters perform way below expectations, you never know what's bothering them physically. They're not going to come out and say, my back hurts, because it sounds like they're whining.
Zalatoris said last Tuesday he felt like he was close to 100%.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't hesitate on putting him on a bunch of rosters.
Yeah, you just never know. It doesn't take much of an injury, and you can no longer keep up with the best players in the world.
Well, I don't think McElroy had an injury. He just sucked.
Well, you just never know.
Well, they would probably tell you.
He wouldn't. Why would he? He would not going to make an excuse. Well, my shoulder kind of hurts.
Well, he would if it hurt.
I don't know that they would.
Yeah, they would.
I don't know.
They would rather you think of something other than them sucking.
Because it would seem like they're making excuses.
No,
I'm sure there's a lot of those guys that have some physical ailments that you don't know about. They can play, but maybe not 100%.
Well, most of them will tell you. They don't want you to think they suck. Why do you think when they miss a putt, they always take their putter and, he said, damn Mark. Why do you do that anymore? Because you're allowed to fix spike, Mark, so you don't act like, it's that fault. You could have fixed it.
That's just spur of the moment mental reaction.
Yeah, they don't want you to think they made a bad putt. They want you to think that it's a spike mark that made it go off
You
line.
think everybody out there is absolutely 100% physically all the time? Everybody who plays?
No, but I think the majority of them, if there's something wrong, if they're good enough that people ask you. I mean, there's guys out there, nobody cares if they got an ailment. Nobody cares if they play bad. But if you're in the top 15 or 20, if they have something wrong, say, yeah, I've been kind of dealing with a little bit of a twitch in my elbow. It's kind of, I got to do some different things. I'll let you know.
Well, I'm not saying McIlroy did or didn't. I'm saying I'm sure there are times when guys are feeling it and they're not saying it.
Times,
they don't know about
you brought up McIlroy, and there's no reason McIlroy played bad.
Yeah, I don't know that he was necessarily hurt. I'm saying sometimes I'm sure there's people that are not feeling 100%, and you don't know about it. Just nobody knew Zalatoris was going to be out for the season.
Well, no, he
was still out there playing.
No, he didn't play.
He's played earlier this year, hadn't he?
Yeah, and he said
he wasn't 100%.
He said he was about 100%.
But clearly he wasn't.
And it just came out. Well, maybe he should have just not played the rest of the year and don't tell anybody. I don't want anybody to think I'm making excuses.
Well, it's one thing if you got to have surgery. There's no doubt about that. Then you got to be out.
He just told us.
Yes, he did. But he didn't say in previous weeks. He didn't say anything.
In previous weeks, he said he's almost 100% because we knew he had a bad back. He missed like half of last year.
Well, then he probably wasn't 100%.
Well, he said he was almost 100%.
Dude should have taken that live money.
Yeah, he should have.
I mean, honestly, though, he'll never say he regrets it, and you can only talk about hindsight 2020. But if you want to talk about some reasons why players join live or will join in the future, I think Willie Z is a great example of, because his trajectory was insane. I mean, he was
Willie Z, Doug.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason Koepka went, because of his knees.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Didn't know if he was
hey,
get back.
I don't know if I'm ever get back to 100%. I might as well take the money now. My golf career could be over in 5 years. Now I think he kind of wishes, maybe not, but as long as he can still play the majors, he doesn't care.
Well, back injury for a guy that size, I mean, Will Zalatoris literally looks like me out there. I realize he's probably still 15 pounds heavier, but It's tough to have.
How
try to
heavy
have
are
that
you
much-
now? How much weight are you carrying?
I have no idea.
We think 130, Doug. That's what we think.
But Justin Justin
I'd be
Thomas.
surprised if Zalatoris weighs 150 pounds.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, Justin Thomas is a small guy, and he bombs
He's in the
it.
150s.
So Zally is 6'2", $175.
I'm going to take the under on that.
I would have to as well. I didn't know he was 6'2",
There
though.
is. I'd be shocked if that guy's 175 pounds.
That's just
He is tall.
Yeah, if he's that tall, he might.
I've got a back injury playing golf, man. There's nothing worse, right? Like,
White,
I mean, that you use
that's the problem.
Jackson had a 7-hour round this past Friday.
Oh God.
It was fixing to be a 7-hour round until I shut
like
it
that? It
down.
was fixing to
No, we don't need fit. It was finna be.
3-hour front nine.
Where'd you play?
I'll leave it out.
Identify it.
Yeah, I'll leave it out. A course. I play the golf course, and
Is it the golf course's fault it took so long?
it's cart path only, combined with some heavier gentlemen wearing denim.
Oh, that
denim
doesn't
golf.
slow things down, does it? Just the fact that you're wearing jeans.
When you see the denim out there,
You know you're
combined-
dealing with usually a plus cap.
right, combined with a little bit of girth, combined with, of course, cart path only, some of the practice swings of the gentlemen.
Jackson just quit. He quit in the middle of the
So
round.
you played
Really?
log cabin and Licks was in front of you.
This is a public track. I just once we got to 13, there was probably only another 45 minutes of sunlight to be had, and it was like, do we try to play one more hole or just shut her down? And we shut her down.
Did you think about driving ahead of him, getting a hole ahead of him?
The backup started long.
So the guys in front of you weren't the problem.
Oh no. There was at one point there was like 5 groups on one hole.
Oh gosh.
No way!
Yeah, well,
I've never seen it.
Well, between 2 holes, a par 4 and a par 5, there was a group on the tee box, 3 groups behind them waiting, a group in the fairway, a group on the green, and then a group waiting on the next tee box, group on the tee box, group on the fairway waiting, and the group on the green.
Was there anybody out there like a marshal handling?
No.
Sounds like a social house
Friday
tournament.
afternoon, it was like, just let them go.
It was like when Doug and I played in the social house tournament
Oh,
with
it's
Biff.
so brutal.
It was like 5 on every hole.
And you can't, it's not fun playing like that. It's not fun waiting, after you finish your putt and then waiting 20 minutes to hit your next shot. You get stiff, and it's just no fun.
It's not fun to wait, and it's not fun in bad weather.
No.
It's the guys that watch about an hour of golf on the weekend and go, man, looks like I can do that, and then they all shovel to the golf course.
I'm sure a lot of people watch the Masters and get the itch. I got to play.
Yeah, that's true. But like, it's the problem is cart path only is such a big problem, especially at this course. It's a very, like, if you're on one side, on the opposite side of the cart path, you have to go and you take like 7 clubs, and it's just bad.
Well, at some point in time, we'll be driving hovercraft.
for sure.
Instead of things with wheels.
Yeah,
Won't
and this
mess
course
up-
is a tough walk, so I wouldn't have. It would have been tough to.
Mr. Link says, demand. He says, where did you play Movie Boy? We need to know. You like that name, Doug? Movie Boy?
I don't mind it.
I'm not answering it because I love this place, and so I'm never.
A tough course to walk was our hint.
I'm not. This isn't. I'm not trying to like
With
do like
bluffs. You
some.
played
sort-
at the bluffs?
No, I'm not trying to make like a little
Passive aggressive, use my platform to take somebody out.
Never.
Greenbrier's
There's
kind of a
there's
hilly
places.
course.
He was at Greenbrier?
He could
Places
well
get
have been. He's from
backed
Ladue.
up. Backing up means people are playing your course and they like your track, so it's
Yeah.
it's a better problem to have than wide open tee sheets every day.
Look, I'm going to give people a fair warning right now, too.
Oh, great.
Something
It's not
important
like
is about to be
Pepper is headed
said.
by Genie.
Something very important is about to be said.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with being slow. But if I'm in the fairway and you're aim pointing, if you're doing the aim point for your putt, I'm hitting into you.
You shouldn't hit into them. It doesn't give you the
Warning
right.
alert! Warning alert!
Yeah, no aim point.
It doesn't give you the right to hurt someone.
Nobody playing these public courses are good enough to do aim point. You don't understand it.
Doug, you can't be good and play public course.
So if
Guess not.
I'm waiting in the fairway and you're out there behind and let's see a step another 5 feet, stop.
Well, they can hit right
It's
back
coming.
at you then.
Well, they can if they'd like.
Sure.
But if you aim point, you're getting hit into.
I will say we got paired up with a random gentleman. It was just me and Private Citizen Pete. And he was aim pointing on every putt.
Was he a great player?
He was actually sick. Like, I think.
Really?
He probably was 1 over in the 10 holes we played with him.
Was he playing from the...
He was playing. We were playing
Tip-tops?
from the men's tees.
What do you consider the
men's tees? Excuse us. It must be all the way at the back.
No,
huh?
there's the tips, the men's, the women's, and then the seniors, or sometimes vice versa. I don't know. I usually play the second to farthest tees, depending on the track.
Okay.
I rarely tip it out.
Okay,
probably
outshot.
whites.
Yeah, I mean the colors change. Some whites are further up in summer.
What is it about Pete that makes him such a private citizen?
He's just because there's Gangster Pete. I wanted to differentiate because every time I'd say Pete, it'd be like Gangster Pete. No, I have a friend named Pete. So,
But he's a private citizen.
He is. Gangster Pete, private citizen Pete.
Aren't we all private citizens in a way?
No, we're public. Look at us, Doug. Your name is Doug Vaughn, and you speak on the radio, making you public.
I still feel like I'm a
Public figure.
private citizen.
Yeah, when you gave that hole, boy.
Yeah, give that hold. Well, we got a war going on. This Worsonwood's Wacko Mr. Licks thing. Hey, Licks, shut up. Who cares where he played? If you played, you would be at the same place because you are a poor. You live in Herculaneum, and you're on the poor students' charity tuition plan at Our Lady of Pillar. Go back to all your work at Home Depot. That's from the Worsonwood's Wacko. I didn't know he lived in the Herculaneum. He drives up from the Our Lady of Pillar.
Straight up on 55.
And how many people with money, like, text the producer of an HD2 show going, I'm ready to call in at 7? It's like, even if you already have money and aren't working, you have better things to do, right?
We got 3 emails Sunday afternoon. I'm like, Mr. Licks just was blowing up the email inbox from the app. And he said at 7:07 he was waiting because he wanted Movie Boy's ass.
Come and get it. I'm not scared.
Oh, you're calling him out.
Call in, Mr. Licks.
I think I'm shaking some guy named Mr. Licks.
He seems like a rough customer.
Yeah. Shaking in my boots.
Let's see. Never play on a nice Good Friday, boy. Every loser from here to Troy is off work. That's from Stephen Wildman. People are off work on Good Friday. Is
Was
that right?
Friday Good Friday?
It was,
makes
yeah.
sense.
I didn't know that people got off work for Good Friday. Oh.
I didn't get that theme or that sense. That might have been an outing or something. I don't know. But it was just rough. And like I said, every course is going to deal with it at some
Which
point.
course were you playing that was so rough?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, hilly though, right?
I'm not going to say. I mean, there's hills involved.
Oh.
I saw Mr. Licks and his family at Our Lady of Pillars 8:30 Easter Mass. So, period, much, period, seersucker, period.
Oh. Are you
That could be
opposed
the
to
title of this
seersucker?
segment.
I once had one of those light blue
So much
pinstripe seersucker suits. Those were big at one point.
Why do the riches dress in such bright colors?
I don't know.
Wonder what that's about.
They're happy.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I get it when you're in South Florida or probably Southern California. You got a nice climate. But in St. Louis, the riches seem to dress in light, sometimes
Pastels.
effeminate colors. Wonder what that's about.
Pastel sport coats.
I do. I like white. I like yellow. I like pink.
Yeah, and you'd put your
I'm not-
wardrobe
I'm
up
not-
against anyone's, frankly.
I'm not rich. I'm poor.
Yeah.
I just like bright colors.
There are a lot of people now that want to dress in all black or all white and not much else.
Who?
Well, I can't give you names, but I see a lot of people wearing lots of black.
I like black, but not in the summer. In the summer, you want to be festive and bright.
Sure you do.
Mr. Licks just sent in a screenshot of an invite he got to play at Log Cabin.
Sure, just it's not too difficult to Photoshop. Boy, this guy, and he said he was going to call in at 7 o'clock. He was sending out emails on Easter Sunday.
About time to block him.
3 of them right in a row. Calling in basketball boy.
Yeah. That was because of the seersucker?
So much seersucker.
That's how they dress at Ole Miss, the home of the St. Louis Riches. That's from Wolf Boy. Is that where the St. Louis Riches go to school?
I don't know. I don't
think that's necessarily. I think that's the second caste system of St. Louis.
I knew some very wealthy families who sent their kids to Ole Miss.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that's like the home of the St. Louis rich, but
is there any college that's cheap?
Relatively,
yeah. I've heard that Ole Miss is the place where you go to not graduate. It's so much fun. There's so much partying. A lot of kids don't graduate there. They can't.
I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but how is that any much more fun than any other SEC school?
I don't know.
Can't
I don't
imagine.
know. But that's just a reputation it has.
It's sad that Mr. Licks treats calling and texting into this show from the pillar drop-off line like a full-time job instead of making his cold calls. Licks, if you're out of cousins and college acquaintances to try to sucker into a policy, I'll leave you with a Moneyball quote. Adapt or die, or chug bleach and stop calling it an HD2 program. That's from Brad Pitt as Billy Bean, also known as Carlos Spicy.
Yeah, good advice. Well, where would the richest send their kids if they? I guess Ivy League if they
I
could.
was about to
right?
say it's Ivy League.
If they can get in, yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Well,
get in.
usually there's ways to make it happen, as we saw with the USC scandal. Licks' Easter. Lunch was a blanket at Tower Grove Park with Colonel Sanders' bucket of chicken Easter special. It's from the Worcester Woods Wacko.
Oh,
Sounds
So
pretty good.
he was at Tower Grove Park.
Think you could eat a bucket of chicken by yourself at any
No.
point? If you're
How many
really
is in
hungry?
there?
It's like, there's like 24 pieces.
Oh,
of
my
chicken.
God, no.
What if it's like an eight-piece bucket?
I've eaten 5.
8-piece bucket, I'd be
Yeah,
live.
I
I
could
wouldn't
eat
enjoy it, but I'd be live.
Yeah.
Ugh, the bottom of the bucket gets all kind of
Oh,
soft
great.
and
Just,
wet.
just covered in lard.
You can see right through it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the most I've eaten at once is 5.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, I've done a lot more than that. I've done a lot more damage than 5 pieces of chicken.
Well, it's
Wasn't
Kentucky
proud of
Fried
it.
is very greasy, and I love it, but
I got to take the skin off. I can't eat with the
Oh,
skin.
We got a school
the
shaming
skin
going
off.
on here. Ole Miss is a haven for the dumb kids of rich parents. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven. Ole Miss is SMU for the dumbs. That's from Dervis Parish.
Yeah, SMU is where a lot of rich folk go.
Yeah, SMU and TCU are,
TCU is good.
are
Yeah.
plays.
Northwestern.
Miami, Ohio, and Dayton are big for rich people without Ivy League credentials. That's from Chairman Steve of Wildwood.
Oh.
KG Noton says, Licks, as much as I appreciate the offer to get a practice round in at St. Louis Country Club for the match, I'm extremely busy today. We'll get together soon, though. It's from KG in O-Town. He'll be working
Yeah.
here the next 2 weeks.
Well, he's already virtually full time, so I don't know.
Well, they're falling for the biggest scam on earth is when people are hiring, they don't look at Mizzou and they look at Dayton differently. I assure you that they look at those the exact same. They look at Ole Miss the exact same as they would Miami of Ohio or, SMU. Nobody goes in the
SMU
working
is a little
world
higher level.
Maybe, but in the end, the whole college thing is a scam anyways. It doesn't, outside of Harvard, Yale, and those elites, it doesn't matter what's on your resume. It really doesn't.
Well, to some degree, I'm sure that's true.
I mean, Western Illinois, when I was there, we were the third best broadcasting school in the country. In the country
Well, for
in
broadcasting,
2011.
yeah.
No, what I'm
Broadcasting,
saying
either
is
you can do it or
nobody,
you can't.
if you don't put that on your resume, which you should not, nobody has any idea that was the case. So you look at Western and you go, oh, what a trash school. But in reality, it's all about what my major was. It's actually a really good school.
That's
for
really,
my
I have to
major.
tell you, I got nothing to do. I couldn't care any less because Doug and I both made the mistake of pursuing this in
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
But I thought it was Missouri, Northwestern, Syracuse, and now Arizona State. So I'm surprised to hear Western Illinois was in there.
In 2011, because I don't know if they go it based upon awards. I don't know how exactly what the criteria is on the ranking. But when we were there, we absolutely dominated.
Wow.
We had a
Really? I did not
phenomenal,
know that.
the people that I graduated with are doing great things.
I actually got my first job because I'd gone to Mizzou.
Oh, really?
I got hired in Rochester, Minnesota, which, they can't really recruit a lot of great talent there for first jobs. And the news director said, well, because you went to Mizzou, we figured you knew how to do things. And so.
Yeah, because we had to do stuff
Yeah.
to work at the network-affiliated
Yeah.
television station.
But if you're in
Still
another
doesn't make it a
industry-
good decision to major in it.
No.
Oh,
If you had an engineering degree from Purdue or Georgia Tech,
Yeah.
that would be meaningful.
Yeah.
Agree.
Mr. Licks probably has degrees all over the place, and he is on
yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
Doug, I guess he is not happy about something. Good morning, Mr. Licks.
Hello, Lex.
I'd like people to stop insinuating I sit in a pillar carpool line.
Why do you do that?
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Well,
okay?
usually where there's smoke, there's some fire.
I don't appreciate Jackson's takes over the last few weeks, but I think he was right because he was right. The live guys are washed up. They can't compete anymore.
Three of them just finished in the top 5 at
I
the
never
Masters.
ever said that. Never, ever,
You
ever.
you said they got their payday, so they don't care. They're not playing in competitive matches, and you're right. I actually didn't catch the Masters this last few days. What I imagine Rory finished top 5, top 10. Is that right?
I don't know why you think I give a damn about whether Rory plays well or P. Reed or Phil. I said that
you weren't giving that take.
I said what?
Okay.
I asked the
You're done,
question.
boy. You're done. Okay.
Nice.
Get back to pillar and queue up in line.
I'm sure they need some help at Companion this morning or something.
Oh my God!
Don't hate on Companion. They actually make their breakfast sandwich, they do these baked eggs. They're like so soft and fluffy. They're really good.
Oh, really?
No, Mr. Licks, my question was, what motivation will they have going forward in their live events to win if they don't? If it's a weird event?
It wasn't a question. It was a statement that you made.
You're misrepresenting completely, and you're making an ass out of yourself.
Yes.
So I'm just looking at the leaderboard. So 3 of the top 4 were live. That's weird. Huh. I guess they can play still. Huh.
I was talking about the live events. Obviously, they're going to care about the Masters. You're completely misrepresenting me. This is nonsense. This is bad argument from someone who I consider intelligent.
What is this? I'm looking at a shot Cam Smith had out of a bunker from like 500 yards away, and he stuck it on the green. Oh, look! And then he made the putt. Wow.
Okay, that's about enough of you, Licks.
So
Get back at Pillar.
I got him off.
Oh, so lame. That's not what I said at all.
But with like the lack of motivation, like right when Rory became the commissioner of the league or of the whole PGA, he kind of fallen off a little bit. So
I was
he got
talking about
handed the
live
captain
events.
card.
I was saying live events, what motivation, because it's a weird setup and they have these team things, what motivation they have to play well in live events. Obviously, the Masters and all the majors, they're going to have a lot of motivation. That's career legacy.
Yeah.
So that's not what I said at all.
Well, you don't get to that level at any sport without being highly competitive and wanting to win every time you go out there. They don't want to embarrass themselves ever by playing poorly, acting like they don't care. So they're all going to ratchet it up whenever, especially in a major event where all the best players in the world are there. They're all going to play as hard as they possibly can.
Are they allowing Live and Ryder Cup? I'm sure this is said. I just don't. I have no idea because I think Koepka's in it right now or close to being.
No, they were not in it.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay. I didn't know what the.
They can't get FedEx points now. I noticed that. The guys who finished
their
in the top 5.
captaincy, I think it was going to be Stenson, if I'm not mistaken, and he's not going to be captain. So Zach Johnson's captain for the U.S., and I think Luke Donald's captain for Europe, if I'm not mistaken, for this coming one in, Doug, is it in Italy? Is that where
I
the
don't
Ryder?
know where it is.
The Ryder
It's in Italy.
Licks is the effing worst and thinks he's a local celebrity hotshot because of his horrible calls. I'd like to shove a Pro V1 up his gape. That's from Mr. Fong, owner of the dildo shop. Jackson, if you consider Licks intelligent, then I'm seriously questioning your judgment. He's clearly unemployed and eats too much fast food. Neither are signs of success. That's from Danny Tanner. Why are we listening to Blousy on college rankings as if they're real? It's like listening to Iggy in an astronomy debate with Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's from Hyman the Roth. Tell Licks to F himself. 618. Licks, get back to selling timeshares, you cuck. Mitch, 4, please. Cumsteed now driving. Oh, my God.
Speaking of Pro V1s, I read an article this week about how they're thinking they may have to cut back on the quality of the golf balls because they're just going too far for the pros.
Yeah, they were rolling
pros
back.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a USGA Royal and Ancient thing. They're talking the rollback. Controversial topic.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, they do it, and people just don't know that they do it in tennis. They play a different ball in tennis. I was not aware of that.
It's just hitting it too hard.
Hitting it too far to get to it, because most courses can't do it. Augusta can do it, which is just buy up land and then extend 13's tee box so guys aren't hitting 8 irons. All right, we got to take a commercial break. Design Air Heating and Cooling email today is coming up at 9:45. Send yours in. Tim McKernan, Action Jackson, the Plowhawk, Iggy, Douglas Elvin Vaughn. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and we are thrilled to have another new sponsor on board the show. A couple of guys I have gotten to know. Longo Biggs Injury Law, Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo here with me. And C.D., one of the things that I want our audience to know is this. When people get injured in an accident, they don't necessarily know what to do, and that's where you guys come into play.
Yeah, Tim, it can be a very confusing process. If you get hurt in a car accident or injured some other way, people do not know what to do. They don't even know how to start a claim. We're going to take the hassle out of your hands and make the entire process very easy. Injury cases are potentially worth a lot of money. We're going to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. We're very excited to be part of the TMA family. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with this. If you or a loved one do get injured, please remember us at Longo Biggs Injury Law. You can visit our website at longobiggs.com, and that is Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
For more than 7 years, the
Totem
Tournament has been a rite of spring. The azaleas and dogwoods waking the golfing world from its winter slumber.
So, the Dotem's back May 18th and 19th at Normandy Golf Club. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Get your foursome together. That's still funny. And join Tim, Iggy, Doug, Jackson, and Plowsy for a day out on the course. And you better do it the second they go on sale because it sold out in 3 minutes last year. Tickets go on sale Friday, April 14th at 8 a.m. at TMASTL.com with a portion of the proceeds benefiting Birdies for Bipolar. Your ticket gets you in on all the debauchery, including your Mich Ultra beer, breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Rockstar Tacos, and a kick-ass after-party with smash burgers from Rockstar Tacos. The return of the 7th annual TMA Dotem Golf Tournament, brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer, and Family Golf and Learning Center. Learn, practice, and play your best golf. Visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. Get all the Dotem info now at TMASTL.com. Thank you. Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Listen up, St. Louis. The Kawasaki Good Times Demo Tour is coming to Big St. Charles Motorsports Friday, April 14th and Saturday, April 15th. The Good Times Demo Tour is bringing its semi with over a dozen different demo models for you to test ride. Find out which Kawasaki is right for you. In addition to the factory incentives, every demo rider is eligible for Cali Cash, which can save you up to $500. To ride, you must be 18 years of age, have proof of a valid motorcycle endorsement, and pass a breathalyzer. Be sure to bring your riding gear: helmets, glasses, jacket, pants, gloves, closed-toe shoes. For full event details, check out the Big St. Charles Motorsports Facebook page. Don't miss out on this free event. Mark your calendars and we'll see you April 14th and 15th. Contact your dealer for details. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, and eye protection. On incentives and rebates, model and year exclusions apply. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Offer for a limited time only. Kawasaki Motors Corp. USA does not offer or extend credit and does not review or make any determination of the credit worthiness or other qualifications for any applicant for credit.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
105.7 HD2, the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
so good, Doug.
When you think Flopsy can't find any worse music than he's already played, he
I don't know if I know
dials
this.
it up a notch.
Contribute to May 5th.
The closest one, I'm going to play April Fool's Classic. We already had that.
Burritos, Totitos, Doritos, and Cheetos, Fritos, Mojitos, and the
Completely disrespecting the entire culture. Oh,
yeah. Tacos from Pacos with Panchos, Nachos, Churros.
Do you know what I find myself saying sometimes around the house, which is kind of
The
embarrassing?
great James Carlton is in studio here for part of our 9 o'clock hour. Doug, you know him from James Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, wonderful sponsor. Yes,
Good morning.
James.
Good morning. Sometimes my daughter's like, "Oh, I really like foxes." She's playing with a stuffed animal, and then I just respond, "I like kitten and bunny."
Oh, nice.
And then she starts walking around the house, and my wife's like, "What in the hell is she talking about?" And you know what?
Do you ever explain it?
And then I play the silly Halloween song sometimes on YouTube. I mean, what is this show doing to us?
Sorry.
Do I ever explain it? I don't think I've gotten a deep dive into that one.
I like kittens and bunnies.
Bunny singular.
So I have a 5-year-old walking around saying that in the right context. Too.
Doug, that has to make you feel proud. Look at the influence, how we're influencing St. Louisans.
Yeah, I'm just so ashamed. I feel so dirty.
James Carlton is in with us. James, what's the good word? What was? Did you watch Masties?
Oh, every second. That app is incredible, isn't it?
It is so good.
It is something else. I tell you what. So you used to do, and maybe you will do, or somebody in the building will do at some point, like those instant reaction type deals. Like you did one after the Dodgers.
I would love to do it. Yeah, I would love to do it with just like the nitwits we did for the Fan Page Club Championship drawing.
Yeah,
just like a group of guys BSing.
I was counting down.
I think we did it with Jay.
Yeah. Maybe a preview recap. I can't recall, but I mean, I'm watching the live at the Masters. I mean, does that set just reek of like pretentious old man golf?
Oh man,
God,
it's it wears you down a little bit. So I was just counting down until No Laying Up went on.
Yeah, I watched No Laying Up.
And because I just wanted their reaction. They're a little bit more my speed in terms of the type of listening. Plus, I had a 3.5-hour drive last night, so that was great. And one thing that they brought up, which I kind of noticed on Saturday, did you notice how much Brooks was spitting? He kind of had that bravado, that macho man. He was spitting like every 5 seconds. I don't think it was because he had a lipper
On the hallowed ground?
On the hallowed ground.
Doug called Chairman Ridley.
And they said on Sunday he was so nervous he couldn't even spit. That was their hot take last night. Yeah.
Well, Sam Bennett was just spitting. I think he chews or whatever because he was spitting the entire weekend, especially on Sunday.
You would think they would get over the nerves after they've played a few holes. I mean, they play golf, every day of their life. They play in tournaments.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a great special for real recommendation on CBS. I think it was yesterday, but it might have been Saturday. And they called it, I think, 13 Green Jackets. They had Scheffler, Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Trevor Immelman. All due respect to him. I mean, he won a Masters and he was a great player, but he certainly isn't in the class of.
I saw some of that show.
Okay, but even I think Scheffler. I mean, if you remember, Scheffler 4-putted the 18th last year. He had a 5-stroke lead, so he could afford to do it. And then you saw Rahm have to hit a provisional on the 18th tee. So I agree. You would think that at some point you would get over it, but even those guys. And if I'm not mistaken, the chewing thing is something I think Mickelson talked about. That it helps with his. He does a 3-5-3 breathing.
Okay. You notice Tiger chews a lot of gum too, so that would make sense.
So that's the explanation I have for it.
Yeah, I mean Brooks's first tee shot looked like mine. I mean that was dead left, and he still had a great recovery from there.
Yeah, he was on regulation.
Those guys both went 12, 15 holes without a birdie.
Yes,
I mean because they were playing.
Kept getting birdie from number 8 on his third round all the way until 13, if I'm not mistaken, on his final round.
So how would you rate it as a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how locked in and how exciting you thought that golf was?
I was locked in, and then with about an hour or so left, I was like,
it's Rahm's. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm with you. You like to see somebody chasing. We had that a little bit with Spieth, Scheffler for a second.
Very brief
until that par 3 on 16.
When he birdied 11, and then his tee shot on 12, and then
12.
That's over. I had a lot of Russell Henley on my roster.
That was a good play.
And the fact that he was, he's easily the most forgettable name of the top 10, easily, not even any question. And I was watching him, and who would have thought you would have gotten a Russell Henley take on this show or anywhere?
He's a polarizing guy.
Absolutely. But I was watching him, and he stood out to me as a guy who was so uncomfortable being in that spot. Now, he was the leader of the U.S. Open going into the final round when Rahm won at Torrey Pines. But anytime one of the great tells, if you're ever playing anybody in match play, and I know match play, Doug, better than anybody.
You're the only one who understands it. Even.
But if you're playing golf with somebody and it actually matters, and even if it's only like a $10 Nassau, just anything, and you're noticing him leaving putts short, for that to be, he was leaving everything short. I'm just like, oh my God, this is a guy who doesn't want to blow up, but he's not out here to win. Russell Henley being in the top 5, the second to last or third to last or fourth to last group, whatever, is an upset in and of itself. He's a Columbus, Georgia guy, same town as, if I'm not mistaken, Larry Mize or somebody else who's won. And Mize was from Augusta. But anyway, and I'm just like, oh, my God. And he laid up when he was down by 2 or 3 strokes on 13. I was just like, God, this is kind of – and they made note of it, but they didn't call him out for it because I think the guys who were watching or calling it knew what he was doing. So that was kind of like the first time I saw him run a ball past the hole was 18 when he had a chance to tie for second by himself, and he was pretty much safe. The rest of it, he was just running balls up there. But you have killers out there on that leaderboard, and I love killers. Mickelson might be crazy, but he's a killer, and that's what allowed him to go on the road.
Killer outfit for sure.
And Koepka's a killer, but he just didn't have it, and he's had some problems in final rounds recently. Rahm isn't a killer who didn't need to kill because he had killed on the front nine, so he could run the four corners offense. And Spieth is an absolute killer. He will double bogey a hole, or he will go on a birdie run like crazy. And so
9 birdies yesterday. That's between him and Mickelson. My God, did they have a round?
2 guys who have. I mean, that's a perfect featured group.
So that was awesome. I enjoyed that.
But as far as it's like this rush, this crescendo, and then it just like
it didn't deliver.
Right.
I don't feel like it delivered. And then what was I going to say about I lost my train.
You probably wanted to talk about the Fan Page Club Championship.
Yeah, did we get that field in?
Yeah, we
Plowsy,
do.
you in?
Plowsy is in, but Iggy is up against 2019, or was it 2020?
I don't know the years, Tim.
Guy, so he's a scratch, and Iggy has him in the first round. Okay. That's the problem. Iggy's not happy.
Who did you draw?
Pairings. Andy Hanselman.
Okay, he plays a lot of golf.
He does.
Yeah.
He's a 14 or 15. So Iggy is an 18, but he doesn't have a gin anymore. We discovered that caused a problem. And so if he plays for senior
he's
teams,
a Ghent guy?
I don't think he has a handicap.
Okay.
He's an 18, but then I went to look him up to see what he would be if he played the senior tees, and we discovered at that moment that he doesn't have a gin, and the listeners pounced on that because he was scolding listeners for not having a gin last year, and now he doesn't have one. So. It tends to work that way on this show.
Well, he's a dangerous 18.
He's a dangerous 18. If he can get past Guy, he could run deep. What did you think of the festivities with Caleb Love? I know you're a big Missouri guy. And
I thought he was a Mizzou lean for the last week and a half, and then Michigan swoops in, because I thought it was between Mizzou and Indiana.
Yeah.
And then Michigan swoops in, and the rest is history. I guess they have so much money, because you would think a local kid like that, former 5-star prospect, would just absolutely clean up in the state of Missouri. Mm-hmm. And I guess they had a better package for him. Maybe his relationship with Juwan Howard was better. I don't know. But that was disappointing.
Dick
for
Vitale says he's not happy with the stars leaving in the portal. He said it's one thing for the guys who aren't getting playing time to leave. Who could blame them? But now you've got the little stars of the game, like the kid at Michigan who left.
Yeah.
And now Caleb Love, who left.
We saw it with Dominic Lovett for football. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he led the SEC in receiving and still transfers. So, yeah, it's an interesting time. But I guess it still makes it exciting year over year, because even if you don't have a good high school class, you could compete. I mean, heck, I bet if we broke down those Final Four teams, a lot of them probably had players from the transfer portal that were playing.
Yeah.
There were a lot of teams with some older players this year in the Final Four.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. Hey, I got one for you, Doug.
What?
Have you guys seen these no-mow April signs? Is that in your neighborhood, too, or is it just in Webster?
I've not seen it.
So they're trying to make this initiative where you don't mow your grass for the entire month of April.
Oh, yeah, I've read about it.
Yeah, because they want the bees to be able to reproduce and pollinize and things like that, which is fine. But, there's this look that it gives. And also this is a very macho take, I have a battery-powered lawnmower. And this is not a joke.
I don't like brags on this.
My lawn is so small that I can literally just knock it out in 20 minutes with a battery-powered lawnmower. So I'm a little concerned if I let it grow out all April, that it just might take that thing out.
In April, you'll have grass knee-high.
That's what they're asking the residents to do.
You're not going to trim your shrubs.
Then just kiss my business goodbye, because I'll be that guy that mowed his lawn in April. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard.
Go along with it.
There are yard signs all over the place.
I drove through Webster the other day. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, look for these no-mow Aprils, and it's a polarizing position to take, for the bees.
Can you use a weed eater?
That's a good question. I don't know. If you mow your whole lawn with a weed eater?
Are there really that many bees on your ground?
No, there's not enough bees, I guess.
I know.
Yeah.
But are we, the people that are mowing, are we killing bees?
I guess so.
The bees are in the flowers, right?
I guess they're not, the weeds aren't growing. They're not able to pollinize. I don't know. There's probably some bee listeners out there that can text in and the purpose behind it all. But man, that's an interesting dynamic here in Webster because you have lawns that are just growing wild and they look rough.
That's a crazy elitist environmentalist nonsense is what it is.
James ain't going to stand for it. Those are his people in Webster Groves. 314-961-4800. Go online, carltoninsurance.net. Warson Woods Wacko has a couple questions specifically for you. He said, James, how many times has Licks called you to get insured and you had to say, you're uninsurable, call Shaq in the general?
No comment, okay.
What does a person have to do to be uninsurable?
You know, that it's tickets and accidents is the obvious one, but also the one that people don't think about is if you go a period of time without having insurance, it makes it a tough uphill battle to get insurance.
How many tickets before you're uninsured?
It depends. See, every company has different pricing models, so they might look at you one way, Doug, versus Tim another way and say, oh, Doug's got 2 tickets in an accident, but we like his profile, so we're going to offer him something.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, a little sketchy.
Yeah, too many browser subscriptions. If there is a no mow May, how is Mr. Licks going to feed his children? That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
I have to cut my grass right now almost twice a week.
I think I'm going to pull. I'm going to do it. I can't.
Oh, really? Yeah, you got 20 more days, man.
I can't handle anymore. And it'll probably knock my lawnmower out if it grows too tall. That thing can't handle 12-inch grass.
Secret. Don't let someone else tell you when you can cut your grass or not.
I wasn't aware of that.
What do we call it? Pitchfork Mafia? Yeah, well, I'm worried about them.
Just start screaming, don't tread on me.
Yes, God. All right, time for us to thank James.
Gentlemen,
for
it's
coming
been a pleasure.
James Carlton, Carlton State Farm
Thank you,
Insurance
Jesse.
Agency, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. The great James Carlton, he is my insurance agent. I really, big time, recommend people make the switch to James Carlton. Jackson makes sure people switch their pant to Muggsy.
Absolutely, Tim. Here's a little representation of what Muggsy can offer for you. It's variety, but it's also consistency. So I'm Saturday night family dinner for Passover, wearing my Muggsy joggers. A little more formal, all black, long pant. Then, I have a side of my family who celebrates Easter. Got a little Easter celebration. I'm wearing the Muggsy shorts. It's a wonderful day out. Let the thighs breathe and wear those Muggsy shorts. 2 different pants, 2 different styles. One's a short, one's a jogger. Both insanely comfortable and look great. And that's what Muggsy can do for you. They have a high variety of pants, any kind of pants you would want, jeans, joggers, shorts, swimwear, chinos. But they also have the consistency of their quality, and that's what Muggsy does for you. All their pants move and groove with you, give you airflow down below. They free your balls once and for all over at Muggsy. So head to Muggsy.com right now, peruse the variety of pants they have with all the same consistent quality. Throw them in your cart and use the promo code TMA for 10% off your entire order with free shipping and free returns. Again, head to Muggsy.com, promo code TMA for 10% off your entire order. Free your balls once and for all and experience life-changing comfort with Muggsy.
And if you want to look sharp or take care of your significant other, we would like to recommend our new sponsor here on the program from the Jewelry Arena, Glenn Betts Jewelers. And Doug, you know the Betts family. Iggy knows the Betts family.
Yeah.
You went to school with
I went to grade school and high school, middle school with Craig Betts. He was quite a 6th grade soccer goalie.
Oh, is that right? Nice netminder?
Yeah, he was a good.
Really?
Yeah, he kept it out of the old onion bag.
Glenn Betts Jewelers in business in St. Louis since 1941, operated by a 3rd and 4th generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally. You're not sold. I was in there and I saw it firsthand. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family as well. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love. The 3 L's. GlennBettsJewelers.com is where you can find out more. That's Glenn with 2 N, B-E-T-Z, Jewelers.com. Located 1 mile east and 270 on Manchester in De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, there is better, and then there is Betts.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is Betts.
God, I like that. You got to write jingles. Get a little ad agency going.
Well, I didn't make that up. That was Remember Debbie Yao, the old St. Louis Pelicans?
Athletic director.
Yeah, she used to say that.
Is that right?
Good, better, best. Never let it rest, is how she would say it. Until your good is better and your better is best. Only I'm exchanging best for bets.
Yeah, well, then Debbie Yao didn't do the Glenn Betts Jewelers, so that's yours.
All right.
Could play the Who song.
I'd run a trademark through on that.
We could play the Who song during that commercial. You're better, you're best.
Could do that.
Well, we sure could have.
I'll forget to do
Maybe
that.
next time.
I don't want to commit.
And now that the Masters is over, people are turning their attention to the Kentucky Derby. If you want a Derby party, head on over to Andrea's.
Oh, boy, that'd be fun.
Oh, my God. The last week, I've barbecued burgers for the family, and each time I put that Andrea's steak sauce on there, sweet mother of mercy. It is so good. Andrea's is an incredible restaurant. Now they have the barbecue sauce as well. They have the Kentucky Derby party coming up. Dress in your Derby attire. They've got all kinds of games and fun and games going on at Andrea's that day. Andreas.com/menu if you want to see the menu for Andrea's, and you can go to Schnucks, Dierberg's, or get the barbecue sauce or steak sauce just by going to Andreas.com or go to Schnucks or Dierberg's to get it. I am so glad I have so much of that stuff. It is so
But do you put it on
damn good.
before you, as you're grilling, or when you're done grilling?
I've done both. Last week, I put it when it was on. Do you like to say griddle? On the griddle?
No, I don't say griddle. I say grill.
Kind of like the term griddle, even though it might be inappropriate.
Are you making pancakes?
I know. That's why I just like to say griddle, even though it's not appropriate. Yeah, I've put it on the grill.
I just find when I put it on while I'm grilling, it drips down and the fire comes up big time and it burns it.
Oh, is that right?
I like to put the sauce on when it's off the grill.
I've done both. Iggy, do you have a recommendation? I mean, you're the chef here.
I mean, you don't really have to marinate it overnight. You can, but I usually 30 minutes before. I'll put it, if I'm going to do a steak or even burgers, I just put it on a paper plate, coat it, put it back in the ice box for 30 minutes.
Don't say ice box. Don't,
And it has
none
a
of us have
tendency
ice boxes anymore.
It has a tendency to kind of latch on to the meat.
Glom on.
Yeah, so it's not, as runny when you do it right away and you put it on the grill, sure. But you put it on the meat, it kind of seeps into the meat.
So that's the key. Do it before you ever...
Yeah, about 30 minutes, and put them back in the ice box.
I don't have an ice box.
So it stays cold, and it kind of mixes into the meat.
I'm
or you
not
can
sure.
mix it in yourself. Here's what I do sometimes.
What?
Because sometimes I put like onions and green peppers in my burgers.
Yeah.
That's how I make my dad burgers. But you can just put a little sauce in there and then mix it all up. So you don't have it poured on there. You have it mixed into the meat.
Oh.
So you can do that too, Doug.
Yeah.
Drip that marinade all over my soft chest. That's from Wolf Boy.
Come on, Wolf Boy. Getting cooking tips here.
Doug, this is a good question for the dais. For the last 18 months, I've been seeing a woman I met online.
How old is she?
We're both in our 30s. It's
Yeah,
funny that you
there
should
you
ask
go.
because it's right there. We're both in our 30s, so it's not exactly young love for either of us. But it's the first time I've ever felt so crazy about someone. She has always liked to wear sexy undies, stockings, and high heels during sex. Sometimes, something I haven't experienced with my previous girlfriends, but which I'm quite turned on by. She has also introduced me to some fairly extreme sex practices after starting gently with handcuffs, and I've gotten to the point where I thought nothing would surprise me. However, her latest suggestion might be a step too far. She's admitted that she was a regular swinger before we met, and she wants to go back to it, only this time with me. I've told her I'm not keen on sharing her and don't particularly like the fact that she seems willing to share me.
Yeah.
But she won't let it go. She assures me I will love it and that watching each other have sex with someone else is a real turn-on. I just can't get my brain round that, though she says I'm being a prude. We plan to marry next year, but now I worry she won't want to settle down in the way I would. I don't want to dump her because she's a fantastic girl in every other way. Is she right? Am I just being a prude?
Yeah.
Doug, this is Dear Laura?
To Laura.
Well, it's a made-up story.
Laura's
Totally
getting
made
in,
up.
Laura's getting into the made-up story of action.
Mm-hmm.
Laura says, firstly, no, you're not. You are just being true to yourself. Secondly, you shouldn't go ahead with a marriage with someone when you have doubts of any kind, especially serious ones. It doesn't sound like your girlfriend is keen to be a one-man girl sexually, and there's a risk that she will just be just as intent on swinging once you're married. If you aren't willing to join in, then she may just go ahead without you, and then that could destroy your marriage before it has even gotten out the ground. Please don't convince yourself that things will change after you get married. The issue is something that needs to be sorted out now to avoid misery in the future.
Yeah.
If you're sure you won't change your mind, tell her firmly how you feel, and make it clear that you won't tolerate her engaging in this sort of sexual activity either. Laura wants him to break it off.
Right. Sounds like girlfriend material, not wife material.
No support pack from her?
There's got to be some way that someone can make a buck out of that.
There isn't.
Yeah, this Laura's got to get on the ball.
Straight
here.
advice.
Yeah. How about that?
I'd like to start a new segment.
Oh.
Dear Iggy.
I love the idea. I think it'd be wonderful.
You send in your sexual questions, your dating questions.
Why don't we start taking some now? Why don't we just get an example now?
Go ahead.
All right,
First one
send
in,
your,
I'll give you a freebie.
Do you have a support pack of any kind you can sell?
I'll send something out.
What would you send out?
Now, where are these
Depends who wants to sponsor it. My support pack, sponsored by whatever.
Nice.
Boeing.
By by Dr.
Enterprise.
Johns. I would suggest Dr. Johns for your next strap-on in this thing. There you go. There's just an idea.
Wow.
All right, so far no questions for Ask Ken.
Well, if we do it once a week, I'm sure we'll get one.
Yep.
That's all I need.
Tell the sponsors, hey, we're going to get at least one.
Well, that's all I need to get one. They'll all be listening to it. It's not like they're going to go away when the segment comes up.
What do we have for our prize for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today? Oh, a 4-pack of tickets to the Cardinals game on April 16th.
Isn't that a nice
From Mystery
treat?
Nickname Jersey Day. Wow.
Is that Friday?
Every day this week.
Or Sunday?
Every day this week.
Every day this week.
Is that Friday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday, they'll have a big
I
crowd.
think I'm going
Cardinals and Pirates.
I think I'm going Saturday.
Bill Madlock. Dave Parker.
Bill Madlock still on the Pirates?
John Candelaire.
He won a batting title or two, I think.
Yeah, he's their hitting coach.
Iggy, save that idea for Tommy in your next 6-month review. That's from the Birthday Hawk.
And don't you worry about what I do with
Yeah,
my
don't
reviews
worry.
and what ideas I have.
Hold on a second. Looks like something come in. Dear Iggy, what is the best way to keep vomit out of your sink? Get some Nava Smasher.
Well, just be careful who you invite over.
A strainer, I would think. A strainer on the...
Yeah, if you think it's gonna happen, just put a bucket around her neck.
Oh, how many girls are willing to walk around with a bucket? It's not what you do to a cow.
Well, if it's happened before, it's like wearing the Scarlet Letter.
They're
so
not
it's
going
a
to go
Scarlet
for
Bucket.
that. Hey, dear, would you mind wearing this bucket around your head the whole time you're here?
That's
Good
my
luck with
advice.
that.
There you go.
I have a question for Ask Ken. Why are you always posting photos of your dinner and Easter lunch? Stop it. That's from Harrison's brother, Master.
I don't think I posted my Easter lunch. I posted some family pictures from my Easter, so sorry if that bothered you. Just unfollow me.
That's a very fair response, Harrison's brother, Master. KG in O-Town, who we work with, says, I have a question. What's the giveaway to the Cardinals game Iggy's going to? That's from KG in O-Town.
Jersey, right?
Pardon me?
Sorry to bother you.
No, I think I'm going.
You had a question.
I
You
think I'm
asked
going
for
Saturday.
questions for Iggy. You just got one, and you tuned them out.
Well, it's stupid.
Was there a giveaway that day?
Saturday. There's weekends. There's giveaways every weekend.
Almost every game there's a giveaway. Almost.
All right.
No, there's
Almost.
theme tickets every game. You got to buy theme tickets but not giveaways.
Pretty close.
No, there's only giveaways on weekends. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Really? The whole season?
During the week, there's no giveaways. Unless you buy, there's theme ticket every night. You have to buy a theme ticket. Like, I think there's a Daniel Descalso bobblehead on Wednesday.
That's a giveaway.
You got to buy the theme ticket. It's not everybody. It's not the first 20,000. It's if you buy a theme ticket, you get that. And I think the theme tickets are only like 3,000 tickets for that.
Really?
Iggy, on Saturday, you'll get yourself a nice little Jackie Robinson cap with the Cardinal logo.
Yeah, nice. We'll go to Gobble Bowl, but that's all right.
Oh, the theme is always going to be somebody going to get shelled. You're going to see a lot of bullpen.
That's not the theme they're selling.
Monday,
they're marketing this year.
Monday, they have a giveaway that's not a theme ticket. Monday, April 17th.
I think it'd be a bad idea to give fans a helmet because we think we're going to get shelled.
T-shirt of the month.
Yeah,
15,000 fans get a one-of-a-kind Cardinal T-shirt. Bruce Sutter, Engine 42.
Engine 42.
All right, well, decent giveaways.
It's a perfect distraction. The Cardinals spend so much money on these, so they don't have to spend money on the roster. And that, like, I
not
personally
why.
love the move in terms of business, but as a fan, it's so annoying that they have more giveaways
You don't like
each
to be
year.
handed something for free when you go in?
Look, they hand out those T-shirts and hoodies are like 4XLs. Like they don't go, hey, do you want a small, medium, or large? Here's a garment that's sewn together. Here you go. I don't
all
need
sewn
that.
together.
Yeah, I've never gotten one that wasn't an XL.
Yeah, I get one I need to go, what do you want me to do with this? Is a blanket or
Well,
a
but
hoodie?
if they gave you a suggestion for sizes,
Design Air Heating and Cooling.
they'd never get through it. It's almost, no, I want a medium. I want a large.
For those of you, hold on. For those of you who missed the announcement, 8 o'clock, we the Design Air is the sponsor of the email today. The Dotem, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Tickets or foursomes will go on sale on Friday at 8 a.m. at tmastl.com. So get your foursome together and make sure you are online at 8 a.m. Friday. Michelob Ultra is the presenting sponsor. 8 a.m. on tmastl.com is when the tickets go on sale. Lisa Ann in attendance, of course. It's Thursday, May 18th, or Friday, May 18th, or you can do both if you would like, if you can get both foursomes for both days. Donut Drive-In for breakfast, included. Rockstar Tacos for lunch, included. Rockstar Smash Burgers for dinner, included. All your Michelob Ultra, included.
That's a lot.
Holy moly. It is this coming Friday, 8 a.m. Get your foursome together for the Dotem, May 18th and or May 19th at Normandy Golf Course, presented by Michelob Ultra, and also sponsored by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Family Golf and Learning Center. Our email today is sponsored by Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com. Let me take a look at this forecast, Doug, because the weather this week...
It's a beauty.
Oh, my God.
70s and 80s all week, buddy.
What do we have going on?
No.
And then a little cold front comes in on Sunday. Looks like the Hawks going to be up a high of 53 next Monday, high of 59, and then a high of 80 next Wednesday, Doug. It's time for the ball to fly.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect golf.
It's also the time to get your air conditioning checked out with Seth Goldcamp. Design Air Heating and Cooling, designairservice.com. Now is the time to do it because here come the warm temperatures. It's a great thing. Get it taken care of with Design Air Heating and Cooling, the official HVAC provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Send your questions, comments in for QFTA, T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Okay.
As a client, I'm a client, so I wanted you to become a client as well. F. Will Zalatoris, the horse he rode in on. His back is out because I put the Lithuanian voodoo hex on his ass. Because you know what you don't do? You don't mess up Tim's betting. You went back on the roster, buck up and be a man. Tim's rolling into what the Fan Page Championship... Tim's rolling into what the Fan Page Championship, arguably the most prestigious golf tournament of the year, with a suspect shoulder. And I'm refinancing my house to lay every dime I've got on him to win. But this email is about killers. And Uncle Kip's drinking buddy, Tony, is one of the best. I remember when I was just a little whippersnapper, Tony used to pick up hitchhikers and bring them back to my Aunt Martha's house. He would close the bedroom door and those guys would just scream, "Stop, Tony, stop, it's just too big."
Okay. Did it? That was the name?
No, the name is Adolf His Nips.
Adolf Heisneep. Adolf Heisneep. He's new.
Is that I ate off his nips? Is that
that
supposed
off.
to be that?
Good.
Sometimes
you put
I have
that together, did you?
I have trouble putting some of his together.
Did you have help with that?
No, I just kind of phonetically sounded it out.
I hate to interrupt the tuft and pube discussion, but I'd like to address something from the 8 o'clock hour. Plowsy says this is the worst starting pitching he's ever seen. But let's not forget 2007 when the local 9 featured a powerhouse starting rotation of Joel Pinheiro, Anthony Reyes, Kip Wells, Todd Wellemeyer, and Braden Looper. Did you hear me? I said Kip Wells. How did he perform that year? Kipster led the league in losses with a record of 7-17.
Oh.
No matter how bad you think Mats is going to be, I promise you he won't lose 17 games. Do you remember the Anthony Reyes experiment? His record was 2-14 in 2007. Hell, Mike Maroth even started 7 games that year. He gave the old college try and went 0-5 with an ERA over 10. The Maryland Heights trench coat enthusiast gives a better effort when he lays motionless underneath a woman and lets her do all the work. So let's calm down with the hyperbole, Mr. Ravioli take. Side note, if you'd like to discuss the new episode of Succession without leaking any spoilers, we can go private and talk some things over. Just email me at negrill111@ihaveswab.com. Finally, why don't we just get some beefy fella from Moberly to eat toasted raviolis while he wears a Rottweiler costume so we can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Then we can call the soccer team the Ravioli Dogs. Problem, period, solved, Period. JV golf coach.
I have to agree with that.
That's compromise,
JV
Doug.
golf coach. I don't know how many people make the drive from Moberly in for the soccer games. There's probably somebody. They got a nice prison there.
You do.
Junior college.
Sadie Hawkins, Doug, after one of the biggest sports and entertainment weekends of the year with John Rahm winning the Masters and Phil Mickelson firing a 65 to finish Bud tied for second. I suppose we could talk succession, but only if we all promise to tuck our excitement boners between our legs. Locally, you got the Cardinals dropping 2 or 3 to the Brewers, the Blues losing the Wild, the Doggies getting curb stomped in Seattle, and the Battlehawks' dramatic overtime victory at the Dome. Then in the association, you got the Mavericks tanking to miss the play-in tournament in order to protect their 10th overall pick, and Rudy Gobert, who cost the T-Wolves 5 first-round picks, getting sent home for punching a teammate. But I think the lead is Gabby Carter's areolas. What's the deal with attractive female golf reporters changing their name when they get married? If guys are used to pleasuring themselves watching them as one name, don't change it. Hey, we've got Tucker on hold, but instead of going to the greatest caller of all time, let's let Iggy talk for 45 straight minutes. About how he drove all the way to Alton to not see Learn and bitch about Mike Tirico's pompous ass. He needs to interrupt the broadcast to make himself the center of attention. He's a horse's ass for doing that.
Oh.
Some Buck Swope.
Buck Swope.
Nice little email, wasn't
nice
it? Yeah.
little email.
And finally, what a beautiful little Easter weekend for #Our Town. Sure, the Blues got relegated to the Recplex Developmental League, and our holier-than-thou Cardinals got shelled yet again. But who cares about professional sports when your Pop Warner football and CYC soccer teams are firing on all cylinders, and the Indy 500 is taking place down Market at all hours of the day? Suck on that, Crocky. Just watch as the best sports town in America goes through the motions of playing an adorable little game of, quote, Big City, where we go about our daily routines in a delightful hubbub of excitement as if we're living in a booming metropolis, even if the rest of the world forgot we exist on the map. The confidence is palpable across every salesperson's face sitting in the closed due to staffing issues. Chili's Express in Lambert this morning, knowing our sleepy little city's most popular local media outlet is a hard-to-find HD2 morning radio show broadcasting from a Folgers can.
Oh. It doesn't seem fair.
Gotta look inward on that one.
And our biggest economic export is that radio show's made-to-order branded merchandise, which finds itself on a perpetual 10% off liquidation sale. You got to think journalists in large markets are looking over their shoulders this morning as St. Louis pumps out Monday morning headlines like bridge over Highway 94 and Page Extension closed until midsummer again due to budgetary mistakes. And another fight breaks out in Frontenac Garage over stolen tags. So let's grab ourselves a late-night cocktail from one of the 3 local establishments still open after 8 p.m. nowadays and breathe a sigh of relief. We're back, baby. Thanks, that comes from the Dragon Slayer. We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you?
The Dragon Slayer.
God.
We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you? He's new. Well, it's between the Dragon Slayer and Buck Swope. And the JV golf coach had a decent one.
Yeah.
Hey, Dolphy's neat, but I didn't think it was as good as the others. I'm going to go with Buck Swope. I thought it was a very nice little email.
Yeah, sure you did. I kind of like Kevin Miller. I like the yelling into the room, "You're too big, Tony, stop." I'm going to go with the Dragon Slayer.
I'm going with the Dragon Slayer as well. Congratulations to the Dragon Slayer. You have won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Speaking of slaying dragons, time for Jackson and I to go down the hallway and just get it handed to us. They will not be happy.
Talk an hour of golf.
They will not be happy.
It's your fault that the Cardinals are struggling.
It's my fault on that. Jackson will probably talk about Rudy Gobert. That will not play well. And I assume we have a hockey interview, right?
JR at 10:45.
There you go, Doug. Any hockey questions you have about this Blues?
When is the season over? I think honestly that would be great.
3 games left, I think.
We're giving away tickets for the final home game.
Boom.
Oh.
Text of the day.
They
winner.
continue to draw big crowds.
Go, Blue Note. Ding.
Best fans in hockey.
Ding.
B5.
I mean, how do you explain all the fans at the Battlehawks game?
Nothing else to do here.
If you walked in there, it looks like a
was a
monster
beautiful
truck rally
Saturday.
going on.
Yeah, it's a little showering.
Oh, it's a lot of meat and no
Is that right?
seats. Oh yeah, I love it.
Is there a different demographic of fan at the Dogs game versus the Battlehawks game?
I would think so.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Yeah, I don't think the
I haven't
soccer.
been to either.
The soccer fans aren't dressing up. I mean, I look in the crowd. I see people with capes on. With
Who knows?
They're dressed up like hawks.
Yeah.
Hockey want wingy.
Call signs everywhere. Yeah,
Battlehawks is blue collar. Is that right?
I would think so. I think soccer's crowd is a little
yeah,
more
it's a little more rowdy, and that's what you want for a football game.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's that discussion's coming up on Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Don't forget, Friday, 8 a.m., sign up for the Dotem, presented by Michelob Ultra, as well as Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Family Golf. Are we going to play Gateway today or not, boys?
Count me in.
Jackson's in.
I should be good.
Oh, wow. We're going to ball straight. Iggy, you in?
I don't pay for golf.
You have to now at Gateway?
I don't know. I don't have the same deal as Normandy.
I thought you just made a phone call and every course in town let you walk right on.
No, I'm sure I could call Showman. I'm not going to do that.
Doug, you in?
Okay. I can't. I got too many things I got to do.
Yeah, Doug's going overseas is what he's got going on. Well, then I guess we'll have one of our many attractive female listeners join us out there if Iggy's out.
A lot of them.
I know. A lot to choose from. Just DM Jackson, and you'll be in the foursome with me and the Plowhawk.
Unemployed guys left and right. It's like what the fan page is. Guys are just waiting for opportunities like this.
I don't think they're unemployed. I think they're retired comfortably in their 30s.
That's right.
Yeah.
VC guys now. All right, time for us to shut it down. Balloon Party is next on 101 ESPN. If you want to listen to me and Jackson, get our asses ripped, switch on over. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.